Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Mach-1 Performance Cup Series presented by Full Throttle Television. We are in Richmond Raceway in Hampton, Virginia for tonight's coverage of the Richmond 250. My name is Brady Hanna. Beside me is Tony Solari tonight to cover all of the action here at Richmond Raceway. Tony, they used to call this the action track, I believe, Richmond Raceway, and I tell you, last night it lived up to its name. Tonight we're not going to be seeing all that. These guys have put the laps in, put the practice in. I'm sure they'll be racing nice and clean, but we're going to see some good, close, short track racing tonight.
Yep. Richmond is a fun little track, 3/4 mile, D-shaped. It's pretty fast, and I actually enjoy the place. I just wish it didn't have such sketchy physics, I guess. Yeah, and as far as what happened last night, I mean, awesome Dylan with an Austin move. So what do you expect? But yeah, we definitely are not going to see any of that tonight.
You were talking about the track. We are looking at the track here, Richmond Raceway, D-shaped oval like you talked about. Man, that front stretch is unique here compared to any other tracks. And the start-finish line placement, which may come into effect tonight, is also very unique because it's not in the middle of the straightaway. It's actually towards turn 4. You got a short run from the turn 4 to the start-finish line, which can lead to some very exciting racing coming off turn 4 on the last lap.
Yeah, it does. It's got the big D shape, so you get all that speed, but that final last corner, you got to make that run early to make it happen towards the end. Obviously we're not going to see any bumping and banging out there. I mean, maybe a little bit, but nothing like we saw yesterday. And it's a great track, a lot of fun, unique and interesting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and coming into tonight, just looking at the points, Nathan Biggert comes in with a 49-point lead. Pretty dominating season for him. 5 wins so far on the season, leading Richie Coy in second place with 0 wins. And looking to get that monkey off his back, Richie is. And this is one of his better tracks.
Yeah. Richie has had kind of a tough season this year, especially, with no wins, which is very, unprecedented with him. And, we'll see if he can get it done. He came close last week, and, we'll see what he's got this week. I know he is Sands teammates. A lot of the guys from the Fury team are just not racing tonight, and a couple things going on, so he is flying solo.
Yeah, he'll be out there by himself. Of course, Jeff Chandler is out there as well in the Chevrolet. He's decided to go back to his own team, so he'll be on his own too. So a lot of changes. We won't get too much into the weeds, but a lot of changes at Fury Motorsports, and Jeff looking to actually goes to P1 in qualifying right now, so definitely a lot of speed as he locks up there. But yeah, you talk about some of the other guys. Like I said, you got to keep an eye on Nathan Biggert. Always fast here, or always fast every week. I mean, 5 wins on the season. Daniel Simmons, Jamie Knopf, TJ Bartel's a sneaky one. There's a lot of guys out there, and Ben Tracy. We're still waiting for Ben to get his first win. There's a lot of guys that can show up tonight. We got a few new names as well, like Nick Dugan and Shane Parrish that can show up and look like they have speed in practice as well.
And we also have the return of Brandon Endler off of nights on Monday night, so he's out here taking his laps as well. And I'm looking at Nate Biggert right now. It's top of the board, so he's going to be showing some strength tonight. Oh, and then Richie Coy just takes over his spot.
Yeah, we talked about how Richie loves this track. Just talking to him, he was very confident coming in here that he should have a good run and be in contention tonight. Nathan's always in contention. You got Daniel Simmons up there as well. Just the usual guys. You got Colton Gum, who could surprise as well. He's another guy who has really good race pace speed. It seems like every week. Just seems like something always happens that kind of takes him out of contention. But he could show up any week and kind of surprise us as well. I believe any of these guys and all of these guys with a good run could kind of surprise us, and just looking for a new win any week, a new winner.
Yeah, well, even kind of going into the boomerang bunch too. We got James Walsh, Josh Johnson. Both of them have been showing their hand lately, running really good, and unfortunately, just a couple things towards the end of the race knocks them out. But there's a lot of good drivers, a lot of good contenders. We got Kyle Milliken on a back-to-back win as well. it's a pretty stout field right now. So I mean, we don't have a huge amount of guys. I think if there's only 19 on track, but I bet you 15 of them got a chance to win this tonight.
Yeah, you were talking about kind of a short field, but let's throw it back to last week. So Talladega Super Speedway, Kyle Milliken dominated the event and went on to sweep the truck and cup races that weekend. But yeah, the Talladega race, Kyle Milliken was in control pretty much the whole race, which is really something to say about a super speedway race. But we did have that big wreck early on coming to stage one. Took about half the field. I'm sure a lot of those guys are looking for redemption tonight.
Yep. Yeah, especially with a Kyle dominating last week. Somebody else wants to get in that victory lane. I'm sure Kyle would like to try and do it again himself. But yeah, like I say, there's easily 15 guys tonight that I feel they have a good shot at winning this race. Sorry to the other 4, but I'm not going to name you. But
well, I was going to say, which is saying something, being that we only have looks like 19 drivers tonight. Kind of you were talking about a shorter field. Not necessarily a bad thing in a short track, but it is probably going to lead to a lot of green flag racing. So as I switch over to the race here, we'll see if we can show the starting lineup presented by Victory Fuel. And if the program would cooperate, we would show you the starting lineup.
Well, I could get you started. I got a tentative lineup right now. We got Richie Coy on the pole. And then we got Nathan Bigger to its outside. Daniel Simmons starting 3rd. Jamie Knopp starting 4th. Jeff Chandler starting 5th. We got Shane Parrish starting 6th. Colton Gum in the 7th spot. Nick Dugan in 8th. Brian Dublé in 9th. James Wallace rounding out your top 10.
Yeah, starting in 11th, unfortunately we don't have it on the screen, but 11th place is going to be Joshua Johnson in the 57. On the outside of him is going to be the 35 of Ben Tracy. Starting 13th, it finally pops up, is going to be the 47 of Brian Hedrick and the 42 of Kyle Milliken on his outside. Starting 15th is going to be the 8 of Lane Allen. And to the outside of him is going to be the 7 of Wayne Grassi. Starting 17th is the 97 Brandon Elder. On the outside of him is the 36 of Dave Nestor. And TJ Bartell will round out your top 19 starters here at Richmond Raceway.
Looks like TJ had a little connection issue. Hopefully he can get back in here and doesn't lose a lap or hurt him. Well, yeah, pace car's off, and they're getting ready to make that pace lap to get this thing underway. 250 laps. I don't know. What do you think there, Brody? What are you feeling?
Well, like we said, I know Richie's going to have a strong car. Nathan's going to be tough to beat on the long runs, I'm sure. You got Daniel and Jamie, their teammates in row 2. Shane Parrish, new driver. We don't really know what to expect out of him in the 66. It's tough to pick a favorite because you got Jeff Chandler there as well. It's always fast at Richmond. All those guys up front are going to be battling. Remember, one thing to mention, too, we have 250 laps, but we are racing to the stage at lap 60. We'll see who gets there first at lap 60, but I don't know, Tony. It's hard to pick a favorite. If I had to pick one, I'm going to go with the 19 of Coy. I'm going to say he gets it done, gets his first win of the season tonight here at Richmond. I'm interested to see what you have to say.
Well, I'm going to kind of go with anybody but our front row. I'm going to say the 19 or the 01 and Nathan Biggert. I don't think either one of them is going to seal the deal. I can't tell you who's going to win, but
so you're going with the field.
I'm going to go with the field tonight. I think it's going to be somebody other than the two of them. I do feel like we're going to have a nice green flag run for most of this race, though. Even in practice, everybody looked pretty clean, not too sloppy. And, with the small field, I think we're going to be green. They got about 120-something laps, too, so they'll make it to the stage, but then they're going to have to pit, obviously, for stage 2.
All right, well, the pace car's off. We're about to see what happens. Green flag's out. We are underway here at Richmond Raceway, the Richmond 250. Side by side to turn 1. Richie Coy inside, Nathan Biggert on the outside. And that outside lane off turn 2 can be really strong, although Richie's going to pull ahead going into turn 3.
Yeah, I always like start on the outside around here just because you get that momentum kind of coming off coming off the corner, especially on restarts and whatnot. Leader does have lane choice, but Richie is a bottom feeder for most of the time, so he'll stay low. And we still got a couple of guys stacked up 2 by 2, from third on the back, but it looks like they are slowly starting to separate or single out.
Yeah, they were side by side. There's two mates, but they kind of settle it. Still side by side for seventh place. It's Colton Gum and Nick Dugan side by side into turn one.
Yeah, they try to, it's tough staying on the inside lane, especially too when the truck race. Most of these cars, they work better against the wall, and again, trying to get that big arc going down, into basically into 4 going into 1.
Man, the 12 and the 10 beating and banging off of each other already. We are lap 3. And there's already contact out there. Short track race, and there's more contact between the two of them.
Yeah, and it looks like Colton Gum got a little side smack, but he was able to catch it, keep going. Didn't hurt him too bad.
You don't want to start off a short track race already frustrated at somebody on lap 3, but that looks like what is the case right now. Now Colton Gum gathering himself and got some time to make up here.
Well, and I didn't really bother to take any practice laps, so I'm not really, too sure how the cars are feeling or handling. But there is that growing pains, getting the tires up to temperature, and I know the track is slick as it is, so it's going to be kind of interesting. I got a phone call.
Well, yeah, you talk about these cars. These cars are very difficult to drive here, especially right now as the sun is not set yet. Lacking some grip. You see some of the cars darting out of line and struggling for grip off the corner. Not easy to drive. Not easy to hold your line or hold it down on the bottom. But yeah, early on to start making I don't say acquaintances between the two.
Well, this goes back to basically what we talk about every week. You start off kind of slow, kind of see what the trucks or the cars have for you. Obviously, too, this race going into nighttime, we're going to see a huge temperature drop, and it's going to make the cars, probably handle a little bit better. But, it really just depends on how well you got that car set up and what it's going to do as the nighttime arrives.
Oh, we got the 12 of Dugan having issues into turn 3. Locks it down, keeps it off the wall, and keeps it off the track and out of the way of other people. But we do have a caution, so the first caution of the night's out as the 12 takes a spin off turn 2.
Wow, and I went back and watched that, and he just it just kind of snapped. The basic thing that always happens with these cars, it gets loose. He did a hell of a job saving it though, and he saved it. It looked like he got straight, but then it got nasty again, and he still was able to save it twice there. And yeah, good job on him. Unfortunately, it did bring out the caution.
Yeah, you're right on board. He just gets loose off the corner, and the car just will not hook up left, wants to hook left, wants to hook right. Best thing to do is just lock it down, slow it down, save your car. And he did a great job, and everybody behind him did a great job to miss him as well.
Yeah, that is one nice thing about this track, though. It does kind of self-clear. A lot of guys, when they do have issues, they tend to fall to the inside of the track, so most of the guys are already running on the outside lanes anyway. So usually when somebody gets out of shape, it doesn't really collect too many cars. I mean, we have seen it happen the opposite way. But yeah, that was a good job by him. I mean, really saved it twice. And he probably wasn't expecting the second one to bite him as much as the first one did. But that's how this car is. It's a tough one to hang on to.
It was a good display of car control for sure. TJ Bartell's going to get the wave around. He's currently shown, I don't have it up here, but
it looks like he's 2 laps down now. So yeah, he must have missed a couple laps getting in.
He had some connection issues, unfortunately.
That's all right. I mean, there's still quite a bit of race for him left to go, and he got the stage coming in another 50-something laps. So
true,
he could get that other lap back. If we don't have another caution.
True, there's going to be at least one, and these early restarts are an opportunity for him to kind of sit back and maybe take advantage of another one. So could be back on the lead lap by the time we get to the stage break. Again, stage break lap 60. We are currently on lap 11 here at Richmond Raceway for the Mach-1 Performance Cup Series. Richmond 250.
And as I was watching the little slip there again by the 12, I'm kind of surprised even iRacing threw that caution. He was sideways,
Well,
he was in front of the field, but he never did completely come around. And they're very selective and very odd how they call those. But
well,
I know TJ's probably happy about it.
being that, just going back in the truck race here at Richmond a season ago, that we had 3 trucks flipping in turn 3. There wasn't a caution.
Right.
But
That's right. That was here.
And yet he is sliding sideways, and somehow that's a caution. It's really odd. It is. I'm not really sure, but you know what? You can't predict it.
Sliding, no. Flying in the air, no big deal.
Yeah, as long as you're not on the track. I mean, technically they weren't on the track.
Technically, right? Yeah, they were in the air on fire.
Well, we got a quick reset here. They're going to double up, and we're going to get back to racing here at Richmond. But, man, we saw some, like I said, we saw some beat and bacon early on. These guys need to get those positions early and often. Are we going to see some more action here on this restart?
I'd say yes. I think too these guys are going to go after it a little bit, and we did get a little bit of a shakeup on the top 6 as far as positions go. So yeah, I could see a little bit of rubbing out there. You're going to see too. They're going to want to get to the outside lane as quickly as possible. We'll see if Richie can get another good restart too over Nathan. So a lot of fun stuff going to happen here.
Well, the pace lights are off. The pace car is going to pull down the pit road. These guys are getting ready for another restart here at Richmond. Green flag is out, and we're back underway.
Looks like everybody got a really good restart. That's kind of like what you'd want to see at a green light at a stop sign. I mean, just everybody goes in unison at the same time. And
whoa, hold on. Green light at a stop sign?
Well, I mean, stop light. Yeah, when the light turns green, you want everybody to just go. And that's kind of what we saw. And we are starting to see everybody single file already.
We'll put the Tony Isms count as number 1.
Yeah, there you go.
For the night.
And it won't be the last, I'm sure.
Yeah, down the backstretch, they are side by side. Nathan Baker holding tight. Holding strong on the outside with Richie Coy. Richie not giving him much room off the corner. Still side by side as they come to the line. 2 by 2 for the lead. You see Nate way out. Oh, you see the lockup by Shane Parrish almost into Daniel Simmons. He holds on to it. Now the 48 of Knopf is going to battle him. And now there's contact in the back. The 10 of Colton Gum is around. It looks like Wayne Grassi involved. Ryan Hedrick. Oh, more contact. The 97 of Elder is involved.
It looked like he had the Brian Dublé and Colton Gum kind of got a little even, and it just kind of, I don't know, didn't look like they were going for the same spot or something, just maybe miscalculation, and unfortunately a few other guys got caught up in that.
Let's go back and look at it coming off turn 2 here. Side by side, the 37 and the 10. 37 and 10 make contact. Can't tell from that angle, but it collects some other guys as they go on. The 47 gets involved. Let's go back and look at another angle here. Off turn 2. 10 washes up. 37's kind of low. They just kind of meet in the middle there. 10 goes around. 47 into the 10, who's sideways on the back stretch, and collects Brendan Elder there.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate too. I was even watching James Wallace, and he was just hitting the brakes to check up for it, and the car got out of shape just under braking, and kind of screwed him up. Didn't look like he got too much wall damage, but some of the other cars involved in that, they didn't unfortunately have anywhere to go, and just got smacked.
The 97 almost made it by and gets collected by the 47, who will ride on board with the 47. Coming off turn 2. And then there's smoke. Got the 14 right in front of him. Just right into his front. And probably broke his steering down on the 97. Man. Violent wreck.
It looked like a lot of that too is just because of the car. some of the guys too, just to make the evasive maneuver in not hitting the cars that were involved in the wreck, they ended up losing it themselves and kind of got into their own problems. And it just goes to show you how tough this car is to save. And sometimes you get lucky and you can do it, and most of the time though, it does not work, and it bites you, and your night's over.
I was riding on board with the 7 of Wayne Grassi, who actually missed the wreck, goes down the track and gets back into turn 3, and the car hooks right, like we've seen it happen a lot. And he sits there, and then the 97 comes along. Of course, it gets collected, and it gets into the set. Now he misses the wreck and everything, slides sideways, sitting sideways on the track, and he still gets a good bit of damage. He gets smacked by the 97. That's just terrible luck.
Yep. Well, it is a short track, especially after a restart too. Cautions breed cautions, and everybody was still pretty tightly wound up. Nobody had a place to go. I mean, it's just wrong place, wrong time, bad place, bad time, and didn't look like too many people got too destroyed out of it. I think TJ Bartel's getting his lap back as well, though.
That's what I was just looking at. I was right along with TJ. He comes to a stop down the backstretch, which is exactly what he should have done there. Being 2 laps down, there is no reason to push the issue. And he just comes to a stop unless things develop, and then snakes through, gets 1 more lap back. Now he's waiting for the stage break, and he'll be back on the lead lap.
Yeah, that actually worked out pretty good for him. So, he should be able to get back on the lead lap here soon enough. And, even though you had a little connection issue, you're still in this. And we all know what TJ could do. He's a little tire miser. We just need to get some of these long green flag runs here. But again, this is just this car, this track, something's weird about it. And it puts a little extra hair on your chest to operate these things.
Pace cars off. We're going to go back racing here just to recap the 47, 10, 97, 37, all involved in that wreck. Green flag's back out, though, and we're back underway, and now Nathan Biggert shown as your leader. He'll take the inside lane, Richie on the outside, so they have flip-flopped here, but new leader, the 01 of Biggert, after that caution.
Now, Richie did not get the run like Nathan had on the outside, so he did fall back to second right away. I know Richie likes it down low, but he's going to have to make that outside line work if he wants to try and battle for that lead again.
Yep, side by side for third. There's the 66 tries to go around the 06. Shane Parrish on the outside, and we'll clear the 06. So move Shane up in the second or third spot. And we don't really know what Shane's got yet. He's looked like he's got a good bit of speed from practice and showing speed here in the race, inching his way towards the front.
Yeah, for a new guy, he's starting to show his face up around here, running the top 3 right now. I mean, granted, it's still early on, but good Q attempt, and he's just moving along. This might be one of those field choices that I may have said earlier, and see what he can do. Well, I mean, still a long way to go.
You took 17 of the 19 drivers, so we
hope. Yeah, true, but I'm just. I have a feeling it might be one of those guys opposed to, the 2 that we're assuming. And as I'm watching it now, we got Richie. Richie made that move on the inside. He's going after Nate right now. They're side by side.
Side by side down the back stretch. Deal 1 on the outside, 19 on the inside. That's Coy and Biggert. And as they do that, the 66 of Parrish is starting to get bigger in their mirrors. He's starting to inch up towards there.
Yeah, I'm watching a little bit further back, too. The only other guy we got 2x2 right now, we got Kyle Milk and Ben Tracy right now. Kyle's kind of doing the same thing with Richie, running on the inside, trying to get underneath the 35 of Ben Tracy.
These guys are going to be battling a lot tonight. The track changes as the sun goes down, the track cools down. It's going to change a lot on these guys. We know. I know Richie was even talking about how much, though, as he gets in there a little deep, almost into the side of Nate, but Nate, they hang on to it.
Yeah, I'm sure neither one of them want to run side by side all night like this, but the speed that the 2 of them have at the present moment, they're either going to get taken 3 wide by Shane, or something's going to have to give here.
So hard to get the power down this car and keep it straight, especially off turn 2. This guy's doing a magnificent job. Oh, he's holding him tight off turn 4, and Nate's going to get the run there, and Shane's going to try to fill that gap on the outside.
Yeah, I was watching Richie too, and, as you were saying too, it's hard to get the power down, and it's even harder to get it down when you're in the inside like that. And the car just wants to kind of wash up on the track, which is kind of what we saw with Richie. Unfortunately, yeah, Richie lost that spot, and he's going to have to try and see if he can make it up again, or he's going to have to, dare I say it, go to get on the outside of him and try to make something work on the outside.
Sun setting here at Richmond. Lap 30 of 60. 250, but we're halfway to lap 60 for the stage break. So those guys are starting to think about this. Want to get those points. And I know Richie doesn't want to see the 0-1 out front because that's who he's chasing in the points.
Yeah, and I mean, with the amount of deficit of points too, I mean, I don't know if Richie's going to be able to even pull that one off. But you obviously Nathan would need to have two more DNFs to even make it in the running. But yeah, he definitely doesn't want to see him up front. But we'll see. A lot of race to go, and anything can happen still. And unfortunately, yeah, Nathan had an issue last week. Kind of took him out. It helped him out. It helped Richie out a little bit, but I don't know. It's an uphill climb for Richie, and especially too, he's getting his bumper kind of gnawed off by Shane Parrish right now, and Shane looks like he's about ready to make a move on him.
Well, Shane's there. You got Daniel Simmons in the 06, Jamie Knopf in the 48. Your top five, and those guys are all kind of lined up right there, ready to pounce.
Yeah, and they're moving along, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like too many people are really gaining or anything. I mean, Nathan himself isn't really driving away from Richie. But Shane right now, he's looking kind of the strongest, and I think if Richie wasn't in the way, I think Shane would be probably gnawing on Nate's bumper right now.
Yeah, that distinctive beast mode, number 66 there. That green and black, you just can't go wrong with green and black, man. That thing looks cool. It looks fast. Good looking car, and a fast looking car as he starts to inch even closer to the 19 of Coy.
Yeah, he's got a good piece under him too, and Daniel Simmons just seems like he's hanging on there too. But Daniel, I believe, he's probably just being a little patient, kind of biding his time a little bit. He sees a lot that's going on, and we got Shane making a move on Richie Coy right now for a second.
As we're out on board with the 06, Shane does look to the inside. Oh, contact going into turn 3. Shane makes contact, and they save it. What a move!
Wow. Fortunately, the two of them both lost about 2 spots each in that transfer of spots. Definitely
wow.
Nothing neither of them wanted to see, but wow. Yeah, that was a good move by Richie. Kept it straight. It did a little bit of Tokyo Drift action there, but was able to keep it straight. Hopefully, it didn't kill his tires too bad, but I don't know. It probably did, just the amount of spinning he did.
Let's see if I can find it on replay.
All it did was spread them out now. Nathan Biggert is kind of checking out. He's almost got a full second on second place right now. Yep, that's what I was trying to say. And just moving along. I mean, we've got about another 21 laps left to go for our stage. And I know Richie did not want to see that, but we'll see.
Go back and look at a replay here. Going into turn 3, let's see what happens. Looks like the 66 just has a late entry there. Contact. It's hard to tell if the 19 came down or the 66 drove in there a little bit deeper. Not really sure.
Just 2 cars fighting for the same spot. That's kind of what it looked like for me. So
yeah,
it's kind of a racing incident, and yeah, maybe Shane could have turned on a little sooner during that, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to do a little bit more in-depth review later on with that one. But still, no harm, no foul. Couple spots lost. And
that's what I was going to say, man. The fact that they saved that and they're still going in the top 5. Great job by them. I know it's unfortunate, but it is early and easy to come back from something like that. As Nathan Biggert looked in his mirror, probably was happy to see that. Kind of relieves the pressure on him. Daniel Simmons moves up to second. Jamie Knopf now in third. Now Daniel's trying to run down the 0-1 of Biggert.
And he's doing it too. He's starting to catch him slightly. I'm looking at Jamie Knopp though. Jamie has kind of held his spot though. He did. Now either he's kind of sandbagging a little bit and just kind of riding it out. He's got a nice 3rd spot for the stage if it stays like this. So he's probably sitting pretty if that's where he wants to be. But Daniel, Daniel looks like he's starting to close in on him quite a bit. He's gaining almost a tenth every lap on him.
Daniel's running that line I like in turn 2. He's running a little bit. If you look at him at 3 and 4, it's about normal, but 1 and 2, he's running a little bit higher on entry, and he's cutting down and getting that straight run off the corner. And I think that's where he's making up most of his time. If you look at him going in turn 1, he's much higher than Nathan is. Well, now he's going to go to the middle of the track.
Yeah, but that's kind of way I've always found too. You get in 1 and 2, you kind of pitch it in, and you want to carry a lot of speed going in, but you don't want to go too far because obviously the corner tightens on you. But if you could get that early entry into 1, and just get a lot of good roll-in speed, it definitely does help you. And that lane that you're talking about surely seemed like that was what he was doing, and it was working for him.
Looking at the back side of the top 10, you got 7th place Joshua Johnson for Boomerang, highest runner of the Boomerang Motorsports cars right now. You got Ben Tracy in 8th in the 35. You got Kyle Milliken in 9th in the 42, and 10th place is the 12 of Dugan, who we saw was contact with the 10 early on, hanging in the 10th spot.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like we got a few cars that are out too. Brandon Elder, Ryan Hedrick, and Colton Gum. I don't think anybody has actually. Well, yeah, Ryan Hendrick and Colton Gum both have disconnected. So Brandon's still out there. He might be getting fixed up. It's unfortunate for those guys, especially early on. Especially Brandon too, being back. You come out here to run a few laps, and that's basically all you do. You run a few laps, and unfortunately, you got to park and fix.
Well, I'll be honest with you. To be honest, I talked to Brandon, and he had kind of lower expectations. As we see the battle for third now. Shane Parrish going back towards the front. Shane Parrish to the inside of the 48 of Knopf. And we'll take that spot through 1 and 2, clear him off 2, and move Shane back up into P3.
He's got a piece of equipment tonight. I mean, especially after having that little incident with Richie Coy, he's still able to drive forward and, running third now. Let's see if he can catch Daniel Simmons. I mean, he was shooting for the second place spot a little while ago, and let's see how long it takes him to get back up to that bumper, Daniel Simmons.
Yeah, going back to finish the story on Brandon Elder. Brandon had kind of lowered his expectations for Richmond, said he was not really looking too forward to run tonight, although he did work on the setup for a little while and was trying to do the best he could, but he wasn't looking to do anything spectacular tonight. Certainly wasn't looking to wreck out early, though.
Yeah, it's always kind of it's always a disappointment. You come back after, you just want to come out and just at least have a decent night, maybe try to get a good finish or whatever. Fortunately, sometimes, though, it is a blessing in disguise. Sometimes you get knocked out early and you just sit back and listen to the broadcast and, collect your thoughts, I guess.
Speaking of listening to the broadcast, as always, Doyle Lawrence in the chat saying, let's go Jeff Chandler, as always. And we're riding on board with Jeff Chandler.
Yeah, Jeff's looking pretty good tonight, too. He's kind of on the heels of his former teammate, Richie Coy. Richie still looks like he looks pretty loose, and, apparently the rear end, that spin kind of freed up the car for him. But, Jeff's still hanging with him and not really looking to pass him right now, but they are close.
And shout out to everybody else in chat. Ronnie Spears saying you guys are killing it. I'm sure he's talking about you, Tony.
I was going to say he was probably talking about you.
He was talking about you, I'm sure. And so, Ronnie, good to have you here. And as well, Joseph G saying good luck to Fugo Autosports with Nate Biggert. Well, Joseph, looks like Nate's doing what he needs to do out front right now, leading the pack over the 01 of Daniel Simmons.
Yeah, it looks like, too. He's Daniel had a pretty good tear a little bit, and I thought he was going to start catching him, but unfortunately for Daniel, Nate's just got a little bit too much speed, and he's kind of helped maintain that first spot. And I'm looking at Shane Parrish, though. Shane doesn't look like he's really catching Daniel, though, either. So we might have this top 5 pretty much set in stone for the stagers coming up here in about another 6 or 7 laps.
And again, thanks to everybody out there that's watching. I hope you're enjoying it as we are. And if you want to drop in a comment, we'll try to get you out here on the stream. We appreciate you guys following along and interacting with us. Love the little conversation. You see the 06 of Daniel Simmons almost lose it off the corner there. Gathers it up, but that puts the 66 right on his back bumper.
Shane was he was about ready to make it too wide there, but he gave him a little bit of a break and let him collect his thoughts, and it looks like he's going under him now.
And
So we got a new second place guy.
06 is giving up the ghost. Here, have it. I'm struggling. Not feeling good.
Well, I think a lot of people are really looking forward to this caution coming up here, especially TJ Bartel. He should be able to make his get back on the lead lap around this time. And let's see, does Shane got anything in these next closing laps to make up any time on Nathan?
Well, I definitely think Shane has got a really good car. It's really hooked up tonight, looking really quick. Does he have anything for the 01? I don't know. We are 3 laps away from the stage break, though, and these guys are going to start making some adjustments because it is getting darker outside. The sun has set as far as being on the track, and it's going to change things a lot here. These guys are going to have to make some adjustments, some changes, keep up with the track, and whoever does that best will have a shot.
Yeah, that's kind of uniqueness about this event overall tonight too. You know, we start out in a day, and with the track getting a little cooler, and then they get into night atmosphere, and the lights turn on and whatnot, and it kind of makes a fun little interesting curveball for some of these drivers out there, especially on an already complicated, very sketchy surface of a track with kind of a sketchy of a car. So everybody's doing a great job though, despite all those fumbles we've seen. We still got a lot of good hard racing out there right now.
Yeah, Nathan Biggert coming around. It's going to be one more lap at the line to the stage break, and I'm sure, like I said, just looking at watching these guys kind of slip around, especially the 01 starting to struggle. Even the 19 trying to hang on here. I'm sure these guys are looking forward to this break, kind of reassess, maybe make some adjustments. And you said TJ Bartel is going to get this. If he can hang on here, he will get his final lap back, which is exactly what he wanted to see. But coming through 3 and 4, it's going to be Nathan Biggert picking up the stage, picking up where he's left off in the points, adding some more points on top of Richie Coy and Jamie Knopf. Will take the stage win tonight. Shane Parrish in second, Daniel Simmons third, Jamie Knopf fourth, and Richie Coy round out your top 5 at the stage.
Well, kind of seemed how I was planning it to go. Not too much of a big shakeup. I mean, we did have a couple fumbles, but everybody's ready to get in some new fresh tires now and maybe make a change. I mean, everybody looks loose. So how much do you want to tighten the car up? I guess that's the question.
Yeah, that would be the thing. You don't want to hurt you always struggle with making sure that you get the turn in the middle, but you don't want it so loose off the corner you can't drive it, especially this car, because it will snap on you in a heartbeat. So we come down through turns 3 and 4. Pit road will be open. Those guys will duck down, and we'll see who can make some maybe magic moves here on pit road.
Everybody's going down nice and tidy, staying to the right. Everybody gets 3 boxes in, 3 boxes out of their stalls. I can see everybody taking 4 tires for sure tonight. You know, the other thing too that we don't have that they had yesterday was the different compounds of tires. You know, I didn't think NASCAR was actually ready for that, and I'm still kind of on the fence with how that was. Part of it made it interesting, but a part of it made me question, why do we even have this?
A lot of the drivers said, why don't we just go with the option tire for the tire? And I agree. I mean, that's if it's the better tire, why not just use the better tire?
Right, and that's kind of what we've always done. You know, you go with the better tire and let it come. I mean, it did seem kind of interesting too. You know, obviously, the alternate, didn't last as long, and we saw that too with Kyle Busch during the race yesterday, and it was kind of interesting to see the comparison of the one to the other. And I guess it did make a bit of a strategy, but at the end of the day, did that strategy really play out for anybody? Not so much.
And well, because all the teams did the same thing. That's that's kind of the play. Everybody's doing the same, except for somebody like Daniel Suarez, who used it to great effect and ended up winning a stage for that. But
right, but it didn't affect it overall, is where I'm going.
Well, it may have negatively affect him at the end of the race because he didn't do what everybody else did, but he took a chance and won a stage. I mean, I don't know. I mean, more options the better, I think, for strategy calls. But to be honest with you, It just comes down to the fact they need to fix the car, and adding extra gimmicks is not really addressing the problem. Just if the car was racing well, you look at the truck race. Truck race was awesome there, and the cup race wasn't bad there either, to be honest with you. But there's no need for additional gimmicks and different things like that to make the racing more enjoyable. I mean, look at what the gimmicks did to the finish of the race. I don't think gimmicks are the answer.
Yep. No, I 100% agree with you there. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it a good experiment? Sure. Was it something interesting to see? Sure. Do we want to see it every race? Not necessarily. I mean, we already have the rain option tires that, we only use on certain, it depends on the certain type of rain that we see and certain tracks. So it's like, it's very inconsistent. I don't know. I did actually watch a lot of the race though yesterday, which is something I usually did. I mean, it was that or Welcome Back Carter marathon, and I kind of had both going, to be honest. But
well, you guys that are watching, drop a comment. Tell us what you think about what happened last night, the finish, the race, the tires. Any of that. We're welcome to have the conversation as we're running around here at Richmond Raceway. Nathan Biggert holds serve off of pit road. Shane Parrish is going to start alongside him now. Tony, this is a great opportunity for Shane to kind of show what he's got, but we are going to have some cold tires here. We got to get these tires up to temp.
Yeah, with Shane running on the outside too, and we know Nathan kind of was pretty strong on the outside. He made that pass initially against Richie. Let's see what Nathan's got on the inside, and let's see what Shane can do. He's got that front row. I already know Shane's got a little bit of a pit road penalty, just seeing his exit, but it's all right.
Coming through 3 and 4 to the restart zone. Green flag's out, and we are back underway here at Richmond. And the 01 and Biggert gets a great jump. The 66, quick to jump to the bottom and falls in line.
I was kind of surprised to see that. I figured he was going to try and make that outside line work for him. But yeah, he just fell right back in the line and didn't bother to challenge Nate at all. A little shocked. I mean, right now, too, we got I'm watching somebody work on the outside, which he probably should have done a little bit earlier ago, was Richie Coy. He lost a spot to Jeff Chandler on pit road, and now he's trying to get that spot back.
Yeah, side by side with 31 and the 19. That's fourth spot or fifth spot on track. They are still side by side.
Yeah, everybody's basically everybody is on lead lap right now, with the exception of Brian Dublé. But they should have enough fuel to just make it a one stop for the rest of this race. And I guess we'll just see if we stay green.
And TJ Bartel, I can't confirm, did get the wave around the lucky dog, so he is back on the lead lap as well, running in 13th spot.
Yeah, now that he's kind of in play, we're going to see him slowly working his way up to the front. He's one of those guys I like to call the tire misers, and with a nice long run, I definitely we're going to see him, top 10, possibly top 5 towards the end of this if it stays green. Just managing tires now, and hopefully, maybe some of the adjustments he made.
Ben Tracy in the grass on the front stretch gets loose off turn 4. We just caught that on the camera. And saves it. No caution, but, man, he had a handful coming off the corner.
Yeah, I have to go back and take a look at that, but probably, he got a little loose. The thing snapped to the right when he got into the grass, so it kind of worked out for him. So that actually was a good catch on his part. And it's not every day you get to save these things. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he did
a hell of a job.
Yeah, getting back on track. He did lose all his track position. Going to be open for a caution, but he did save his car. So if that does happen, he'll be able to recover from that.
Well, hopefully, too, being in the grass for most of it, it didn't really hurt his tires, so he could slowly maybe drive it back up there. I'm looking at Shane Parrish now. Shane is all over Nate's bumper right now. Nate Biggert of the 01, our leader, and there might be a move happening real soon here.
He might be sniffing the lead here in a minute. The 06 behind him, Daniel Simmons and Jamie Knopf, Richie Coy making out your top 5. Jeff Chandler has been solidly in the top 10 so far all night in the 31, and he's currently in 6th spot, just hanging on right there, probably saving some tires.
Yeah, with this being, you got what? How many more laps we have left to go? At least 150, 175 laps still left to go. I'd be saving as much as possible right now. And like I say, I feel like we're going to stay pretty green. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be a tire wear towards the end of this.
I tell you what, the guy that's making the most moves right now is just 20 of TJ Bartell. Started at tail end of the field, got the lucky dog. Already working on, is that Nick Duke? No, that's Dave Nestor for 10th spot. So move TJ up to 10th spot right now.
Yeah, he's working on Dave. It looks like he's going to clear him now, and yeah, he's going to be solidly in the top 10. Just moving up there. Just is he saving too? Which I'm sure he is, because he knows how he can drive forward and save. So we'll see. He's moving. He's got a good car, and now that he's got equal track and equal tires with these guys, yeah, let him move up.
We're about to have a battle for the lead. The 66 is right there on the back bumper of the 01. 06 is right there as well. Looking to pounce here. Lap 76. Sorry, 78 of 250.
Yeah, Daniel started moving up, and he's right there too with this top three. And it's just I'm waiting for the 66 to kind of make a move. He likes being on the bottom though, so I mean, obviously he's going to try and get underneath Nate. Obviously he didn't try to run him high on the restart, so I'm waiting for that undercut.
Right on the back bumper of the 01. We're right on board with the 66 of Shane Parrish. Into turn 3. Rolling the center a little bit better than the 01 right now.
Yeah, he looks pretty stable too. He doesn't look like he's too loose or whatever. Not even really too tight. He's just got a good neutral car. Nate looks like he's getting a little loose though on exit. And you can just see the rear end of that car kind of snapping out a little bit on him. Kind of watching our number 4th place guy, Richie Coy, right now. He kind of moved his way back up there. The equal tire now. He is all over Daniel Simmons. I mean, we got a good top 4 right now that are under a blanket.
What if he's I'm trying to use my words carefully. What if he's motivated to get back to the 66?
Yeah, it's possible. yeah. I mean, I can see that. I'm sure he wasn't very happy about it, and I'm sure if we go back and watch his stream, we can, he doesn't have the heart rate monitor hooked up anymore, so we don't know for sure. But yeah, he's got to just remember to kind of be cool with it and save them tires, because you're going to need these tires at the end of this race.
Well, I think a lot of these guys, and I'm joking. I don't think he'll do anything when he gets there, but I think these guys know now at this point that this race has a green flag look. You got to take care of these tires. Got to manage the tires for sure. And this thing could go green at the end, so you want to make sure you get all the tires you can. As you see, the 19 of Coy starting to make a move to the inside of the 06 of Daniel Simmons.
Yeah, Daniel doesn't look like he's really fighting him too much. So he'll probably let him by once he gets there. Which is a smart move too, because I mean, really, you want to save your tires at any and all costs around here. And with the long run that he's got to the end, I mean, obviously we're going to have one more pit, but it's still a long run. You still got a good, 75 to 100 lap, tire run you're going to have to run on these things. So you need every little bit of that rubber that'll get you, especially too with the looseness that we've been seeing and with the drop in temperatures. There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah, top 4 under a blanket up front. 1, 2, 3, 4 all right there together. 5th place, Jamie Knopf back there with 6th place, Jeff Chandler. 7th place, Kyle Milliken. I didn't talk much about him. Last week's winner. Currently running the 7th spot, having a good solid finish tonight, or solid run so far tonight.
Yeah, Kyle's running really good tonight too, and it's still early, and we got James Walsh even behind him, and James likes to show up at the ends of these races too. So I mean, he's another guy that knows how to save some tire, and we'll see what he's got towards the end. And I'm looking at TJ. TJ kind of stalled a little bit. He's just kind of still hanging out in 10th. Hasn't really got past Nick Dugan yet, which I'm kind of surprised. I figured we would have seen him, at least up another spot or two from last time we talked about him.
Yeah, there's the 20 of Bartel. Chasing down the 12 of Nick Dugan. That's for the ninth spot, but you're right. He's running currently P10. You talked about James Wallace kind of showing up in the races. Would you compare him to like a Kevin Harvick and just kind of rides? They call him the closer. He just shows up in these races.
He does have a knack for that. I don't know if I'd put him on the Kevin Harvick level as far as that goes. I mean, but definitely if he stays clean and he's there at the end, we know he shows up. It's like, hey, where did he come from? And you definitely can kind of give him that Kevin Harvick trait, but it really just depends on how well his night goes. And we already seen him too kind of tap the wall a little bit. I don't think it hurt him too much. Just trying to avoid that wreck early on. But yeah, he's definitely a contender that we can start seeing towards the end of this. I mean, there's still a lot of racing to go, and a lot of tire that needs to be saved, and we're gonna have to see who can do the best job. And it's really just whose car can stay neutral and not get loose that we've seen, especially through the first stage. And I'm watching a lot of the cars now, and that the rear end is waggling on a lot of these cars already. So another 50 laps or so, it's going to be a little rough on some of these guys.
Yeah, they're going to stop at some point too for tires and fuel. Speaking of fuel, I want to shout out to one of our sponsors, Victory Fuel. You guys have to check it out. DrinkVictory.com. They got the new flavor out, Tony. They got the purple potion out now that I'm dying to try. But their other great flavors, Throttle Punch and Lucky Lemon, are great as well. VictoryFuel.com or DrinkVictory.com, and use code FTSR for 10% off your order. It helps us out, helps you out, and supports them as well. You gotta give it a shot. It's a good thing. It's a good product. I enjoy it a lot, and I appreciate what they're doing for the league. Actually, coming on as the main sponsor for the series next year, Tony. So looking forward to having them in the spotlight for sure for season C.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a great product, and they got grape now. I mean, hell, I'm drinking grape Gatorade. So I mean, this might be a good alternative to Gatorade. Like I said, grape is one of my favorite flavors. So yeah, it's going to be another good combo. I wonder what the next flavor may potentially be. But hey, for them to do grape right off the bat, hey, that's not a bad thing, right?
Grape should be a lot of fun. Doyle. As we see a battle for the lead now. The 66 is going to look to the inside of the 01 for the lead. He's been eating him up all race, and now he's going to get the pass done. 66 to the lead. Shane Parrish is going to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and he did kind of what I was waiting for him to do. He snuck on the inside of Nathan Biggert, and he's got a great car underneath there. And out of all the cars that I'm watching right now, him and Daniel Simmons, especially in the top four, the two of them just seem very solid. They're having really good drive off. They're getting in the corner really nice and smooth. The car doesn't seem to be really moving around as much as, say, Nate Biggert and Richie Coy right now. That you can see just the two of them. They are fighting it on mid-corner to exit. And, I just don't see that condition with either one of them getting any better towards his night, as the night rolls on. But, man, yeah, Shane is he's starting to drive off now, which is something we have yet to see happen tonight. It's like a mountain goat on a mountain. Just he's got some good sure footing right now, just getting around this. Does he have the tire now too? I guess that's going to be the next question. It's good that they're showing their hand early on, and they got a nice strong car. But did they have it, another 50 laps? Because I kind of feel like we're not going to see pit stops for at least another 50 laps.
Yeah, they're going to make their pit stops, and we're actually going to have to fix an issue right quick. So let me take a quick break here. We'll be right back. In just a few seconds here. And apologies, we are back here at Richmond Raceway. Had to smooth things out a little bit. We saw a little bit of a stutter developing, and looks like we've got that solved. 66 of Shane Parrish is currently your leader. The 01 of Nathan Bickert in second, who is now being hounded by the 06 of Daniel Simmons, Tony.
Yeah, I'm kind of watching that. It just doesn't seem like Nate likes not having clean air right now. And he's kind of getting eaten up on Daniel Simmons, and Shane is he's just driving away. I mean, he's almost got 9/10 ahead on second right now, and it's definitely something I wasn't. I mean, I guess you could say I was slightly predicting it, but I wasn't expecting Shane to kind of drive off like he's doing now.
No, wait a minute. Now, did you not pick the field against the 01 and the 19?
I did. I just said the front row wasn't going to win. So, I mean, in a way I was right, but was I expecting Shane? I can't exactly say. I mean, that's kind of why I picked the field. I wasn't exactly sure what we were going to see, but like I say, Shane has got a good, solid-looking car. I've been watching him for the last couple of laps. He is in and out, super smooth. The car just looks like it's planted. So
we somewhat suspected he was going to be quick. At the end of that stage, he started making some moves and ended up in second. So I knew he was going to be quick, and once he got around the 01, he's starting to set sail here. The 01 Biggert falling back, and now kind of maintaining a little bit. Second place, Daniel Simmons in third, Richie Coy in fourth. Everybody just kind of spread out here, and this is kind of what we saw. And this is what's going to lead to those long green flag runs as long as everybody keeps their car under control. Everybody's just kind of spaced out in their own bubble.
Yeah, I mean, again, we still got good 40, 50 laps before we're going to even see any kind of pit stops. And, it's a tire strategy game right now. And, unfortunately, I'm looking at some of these guys, and, I've said it before, the cars are getting a little sloppy out there. They are having a hard time getting the power down, getting that exit. And, and I know it's not doing anything good for their tires.
Dugan heading to the pits. The 10th, what was the 10th place driver is going to be coming to pit road here. Don't know if it's scheduled or unscheduled, but maybe he got a little loose off too, but decided to bring it down pit road.
Yeah, that's kind of an odd strategy. Definitely a little early, unless he plans on trying to do an undercut. But even so, it's a bit early.
It's 150 laps to make it, or no, 145 laps.
Yeah, I think the most you can get out of this is like 120.
So maybe a two-stop strategy.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. He's probably going for that two-stropper. He did get tires. I'm just kind of waiting for him to drive off, though. He's just kind of sitting in the pits right now. He may have called it quits for the night. It's tough to say. Sometimes, listen, I'm not going to, get on somebody for doing that, because sometimes you just don't want to fight the car anymore. And if you got an ill-handling car, or if you're just kind of getting bored of trying to fight this thing, you got to park it and just be like, that's enough for me.
You see the 35 or 36 of Nestor going down a lap. The leaders. Rough night for the 36 back there. Having to avoid all the issues early on. 37 to Dublé back there as well. Wayne Grassi currently on the lead lap in 11th. Fighting Joshua Johnson in the 57.
Yeah, Josh Johnson, I was kind of surprised. I was hoping to see him up a little bit more. Just like I say, he's been running really good the last couple of weeks. And, he's definitely not doing horrible tonight. But I was kind of expecting to see him just a little bit more up there, at least a top 10 car tonight. But, he's struggling too. A lot of these guys, I'm just watching them. You could just tell they're fighting ill-handling cars. And, when you think, too, you got another 40, 50 laps to go before you're going to pit. It's just that feeling of dread, like, I just got to let it, hang out for another 40, 50 laps, go get some tires, and then trying to do it all over again. But
yeah. Well, I know Wayne's struggling with some issues. I know he got damage early on with the melee on the backstretch going into turn 3, probably hurting his car a little bit. He got a few cars out. Ben Tracy's able to recover from that almost spin on the front stretch back up to 10th spot. But our biggest mover tonight, because of some connection issues, it's going to be that 20 of TJ Bartel. It's gotta give him some credit for hanging in there, sticking with it, and able to make something out of it. Coming from 3 laps down, currently running the 9th spot.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. He's still got a little bit of a uphill climb to catch James Wallace in the 8th spot, but yeah, he's moving forward. I'm looking at our top 4 too. I mean, they were once under a blanket, and now they're under a large tarp right now because there's spacing in between each one of them, and they are all just kind of like just separating.
Would you say they're in one of those big tents? You know,
probably.
It's intense, like the circus.
Yeah, they're almost like in different counties right now, all 4 of them, which is kind of wild to see. But that's just that tire wear for you. Just you can see it just spreading them out, and I'm still watching all these cars, and you got Richie's loose. Daniel looks pretty stable, but Nathan Bigger too is he's got a little bit of looseness, but he's still able to drive forward. But Shane Parrish, our leader right now, that thing still looks solid as a rock, and he is just driving nice and smooth, and yeah, it doesn't. I mean, the car looks like it's on rails. He is not, putting a bad tire off.
I see Nathan starting to try some different lines here, running high through 3 and 4 there. See if he does the same thing 1 and 2, and he will run up the track. So trying to use that top lane, see if he can generate some runs off the corner and maybe generate some time.
He's still fighting that loose off though, and you can see on his exit. I mean, even too, he's starting to get a little loose going in as well. But that exit is just killing him. He is almost sideways every corner.
We'll go to the inside of the 7. I tell you, we got a battle developing here for 4th and 5th. Actually, it's no longer a battle as the 19 of Coy goes by the 48 of Jamie Knopf. Actually, no, Jamie's starting to reel in the 19, so this hasn't changed yet. So these guys are kind of close off of the top 3 here for 4th.
Yeah, and Jamie's just kind of holding back behind Richie right now too. And
we got an issue with the 42 of Kyle Milliken on pit road. Says he crashed and his car is tore up. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Coming through 1 and 2 down the backstretch. I guess that death wobble. And I don't know how that wasn't a caution and the other one was. But he crashed on the backstretch. He crashed hard on the backstretch.
Yeah, that actually looked very reminiscent of what happened to me on Wednesday in the truck. Just got slippy, and you hit that inside wall, and it looked like it took out his front left. And
turned right and turned left, right in the wall. Night over, pretty much.
Yep, fortunate for Kyle, especially after the week he had, but still, it's just that's his car, that's his track.
And insult to injury, hits the barrels at the end of pit road. Hey, I've done that before.
I don't think a lot of that was, his doing. Probably just the car. He probably just wanted to get it onto pit road and not bring out a caution. And that thing. Sometimes you got to go where the car's going to take you. Other than you really don't even have any steering at that point.
And shout out to Justin Diltz. I think the owner of that car. It's gonna need some work. Some body work for sure. That thing's tore up pretty bad, and luckily we don't have to replace those sand barrels at the end of pit road either.
Right? Yeah, and it's all right, Justin. He brought you the trophies last week, and
right.
Now he's bringing you the steering wheel.
I think he's owed one after last week's performance.
Yeah, it's all right.
Shane Parrish continued to lead here by over Nathan Biggert by 2.1 seconds. Daniel Simmons 4.1 seconds back, and Richie Coy running in 4th.
Yeah, and he's almost about 2 seconds off of Daniel Simmons right now. And again, they're all the top 4 right now. They're just slowly, just spacing themselves out from each other. And and Jamie Knopp, he's still over Richie Coy. And as I see Richie Coy keep getting loose, it's inevitable. Jamie's going to eventually get by Richie at some point.
Yeah, he's working him over, trying to run some different lines, get a run off the corner here. I mean, again, we got pit stops coming up as well, lap 127 now. And right on the back bumpers at 48. Those guys are having a pretty good battle, though. To be honest with you, when you're spaced out like this and your night's not going kind of the way you want it to, this can be kind of fun to kind of race each other because you know, those guys are way up the road and it's kind of just between us. Let's just have some fun. You see the wiggles off the corner there by the 19. Everybody's struggling for grip.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of ill-handling cars out there right now, and yeah, it's the only one that's looking really strong right now is again our leader Shane Parrish, and he's got a 3-second lead now over second place, and he is just cracking them laps off and just keep putting them down.
We got the 67 on pit road, first to blink, so he is coming down pit road for some fresh tires. This may start a trend here with these guys starting to pit. We'll see if this happens, but he's coming to get his tires and trying to make some time on some fresh tires. So that's not a bad move for the 67 of Wallace, trying to make up some time.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, as I'm watching Jamie Knopp get by Richie Coy finally, he's within that threshold, James Wallace. So he could get them tires, get out there, maybe make up some time, go through the pit cycle. There could be another caution, too, that bunches him back up, which can definitely help him later on. Hopefully he's not parking it, but no, he's out. He's out of his box. He's going down, getting back in it. So, yeah, we're going to start seeing another 20 laps or so. We're going to see that maybe the rest of this field come down. So hopefully it's a good move on James Wallace's part. Who else we got? We got Brian Dublé in the pit. He was a lap down or two. So, but he's going in, getting his car service.
Yep, 37 in the pit. 66 trying to put the 57 a lap down. A little bit of wiggle off the corner. You see his car's still not perfect. It's still fighting some handling issues, but it is fast.
Yeah, it's definitely there are some ill-handling cars out there right now, and it's tough. It looks like we got Jeff Chandler going in for pit stop now too. He had a little trouble getting that car woed down, but he's good. He's getting ready to get in his box.
Got to get everything he can come to pit road. 57 and Joshua Johnson's going to come to pit road as well. Now we're starting to see some of these guys make those pit stops. And you saw with the 42, Tony, Kyle, it doesn't take much of a bobble to pretty much end your night. All you got to do is a little bit of bobble off the corner. You got to catch it and it shoots right. And you're along for the ride at that point.
Well, they say these cars are a lot more durable, and trust me, they're not when you hit that left front. And you got your 8 minutes of repair, and you're pretty much done for the night.
But the bodies are definitely more durable. The front end, rear end impacts you can take, and it really not impact you. Even the side impacts, if you do them just right, seem to not really affect the car if you hit flush. But you're right, you hit a wheel, and the suspension can. They've got those brake points on the suspensions. You see the 66 into the wall off turn 4. Got a little high off turn 4. But the brake points on the suspension are there for a reason to give a point of failure so that you're not taking the brunt of the impact when you make collision with the suspension, I guess.
Yeah, the bodies are made out of Kevlar and carbon fiber, and the control arms are made out of Fabergé.
I was going to say paper mache. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, but even, Shane Parrish, even though he had that little tap on the wall, and he's kind of barely scraping the wall that I'm watching him now, the car still looks great. And he's just solid. I mean, the car, there's no wiggle, there's no waggle. He is getting in and out of these corners like he's literally on rails. I mean, you hear that term, the car handles like it's on rails. He looks like he's on rails. I don't think I've seen that car step out once.
He had a 3.5 second lead, now 3.4 over Nathan Biggert, 5.8 over Daniel Simmons. Jamie Knopf is 8.1 back. And Richie Coy down 10 seconds.
And right behind Richie Coy, we got TJ Bartel.
Here comes those fresh tires around our leader. The 31 of Jeff Chandler getting his lap back there. Or one of the two.
Yeah, for sure. And man, just watching him drive away, those new tires, it's incredible. And it's almost like the alternates to the primaries, like we saw yesterday. But is it a good move to go in that early? I mean, after all pit cycles go through, is that going to help you enough? Do we get another caution maybe later on? I'm trying to look too how many guys we actually have. We only have 7 people on the lead lap right now,
Right.
and there's about 13 people total that are kind of in contention that are maybe with a maximum of 3 laps down. So there's really not too many guys on the on the lead pack. But it's still it's a tire savings, tire strategy type game, and yeah.
And a caution could change anything at any point here. We've seen so many times a caution go, well, in the truck race on Wednesday, a caution completely changed the complexion of the race, just depending on where it falls. So there's definitely a lot of, if you pit now, you don't want to see a caution. But maybe you do to get, back on cycle and who knows? It just depends on when it falls. As you see the 7 of Grassi now on pit road as well.
Well, everybody should still have at least 2 sets of tires left in the pits, from what I'm calculating.
At least, yeah.
At least 2. So, yeah, I mean, definitely if you'd want to, another caution definitely would not hurt some of these guys. And I'm sure, some of these guys probably would be a little relieved too, just to, you can see some of their cars just ill handling. And, that's what these long runs do. It really just shows the men from the boys in a way. And, who can save the tire, who's got the car for that long run that could keep it, especially too at this track. Just, we're not under complete darkness yet either, but man, these cars some of them are just, they're looking mighty sloppy, and some of these guys are really probably, really fighting these things just to try and keep them straight, not necessarily to go fast.
Just looking at our chat, Doyle Lawrence just says beast mode, huh? Yeah, I'm not really sure what he's referencing, but good looking car out front. And then you got Pepto Joe in there saying, wonder when we're going to get the option tire from iRacing. I mean, they do it in the other series. So if they do implement it in iRacing or in NASCAR full time, it wouldn't be hard to implement here, I don't believe. But I mean, that's if NASCAR goes that route. Again, a lot of the drivers are just saying, why don't we just use the best tire all the time?
Well, I could see us getting the options in the iRacing and our hot lap sessions will just be like, well, obviously everybody's using the alternatives just because that's how the hot lap sessions go. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really looking forward to it. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully, it's a gimmick that they realize that they didn't need, and we don't see much more of it. That's kind of where I'm on it. My stance on it is.
Just going through the field here. Jamie Knopf in 4th. Richie Coy about 2nd and a half back in 5th. TJ Bartell back here in 6th spot. Running a higher line through 3 and 4. Ben Tracy in 7th. These guys all on the lead lap and yet to pit. James Wallace trying to get one of his laps back in 8th. Jeff Chandler in 9th. And round 8 or top 10, it's going to be Joshua Johnson into 57.
And I'm watching James Wallace right now. He's running a 23 flats, and then Shane's basically running a 23 sevens. So I mean, he's gaining 0.7 of a second on a lap to the leader right now. So can he get his lap back for one? And then how's it going to turn out? Towards the end of this run now. Although I'm watching Shane Parrish. Shane just got a little loose there. I was kind of surprised to see that, but that back end just finally stepped on him.
Yeah, again, like I said, it's not a perfect car. I've seen him have some handling issues, but he's been in a wall a couple times. It's not perfect, but it is fast.
He's definitely class in the field right now, and I'm expecting some of these guys, some of these lead lap cars right now to be heading in for the pits any minute now. When do you go? Some of these guys obviously have already went, but some of these leaders. Do we see like a Richie Coy or a TJ maybe trying to do an undercut to try and gain a little spot on some of these other guys?
Well, we've got under 100 laps to go. See Ben Tracy go down lap. Under 100 laps to go here. Lap 151 of 250. So, I'm interested to see when they pit as well. Who's going to stretch it out? You see Nathan Biggart's going to hit pit road So Nathan's going to be the first to pull the trigger among our leaders, and he'll come down pit road, get those fresh tires, and this may open the window.
Yep, making his way down pit road. We got what 40-mile-an-hour pit road for these guys, which seems probably like an eternity.
Our leader hits the barrels coming into pit road. The 66 of Shane Parrish just hit the barrels entering pit road.
Ouch. I see a fender and a front clip.
Yes.
Fly.
Major damage from the 66. Richie Corey's on pit road as well, but man, major implications. He misses his pit box as well. Big damage by the 66 coming into pit road.
Well, that looks like he possibly, he's definitely got front wheel damage. So he is, he's in the pits for a while.
Daniel Simmons in the pits. Jamie Knopf in the pits. Man, I wouldn't have predicted that.
No, that and it. You could just see he gets loose under braking trying to get down a pit road. Surprising too, he didn't have to go crazy getting in. He had such a hell of a lead too. He could have eased it on in and would have been all right. But no, he is in for probably an 8-minute repair, if that.
I'm trying to see if I can pull it up on the replay. Here we go. Come down into turn 3. He tries to get all he can into turn 3 to get to pit road. Slides sideways, locks up the brakes and into the barrels. Oh my goodness.
Definitely nothing he wanted to see tonight. But I'm sure the rest of the competitors were kind of happy about that, though. I hate to say it. We got TJ Bartell going in. He almost got a little loose coming in.
Man. Not the front clip off. I mean, that's
clip and the fender.
Yeah.
Man, that's sad to see. And I guarantee it's not how he wanted it to end his night. But yeah, he's still in the pits, and his night is probably done.
He just that transition from the racetrack to the apron, I think upset the car, and he went to correct it. It just slid straight right into the barrels. Again, I can relate. Been there, done that. I've done that in trucks. It's not fun. It's easy to do too. This pit road is kind of difficult to get to, and then you add the fact the complications of the way the car is and how stiff the car is. You get that transition, it upsets the car and slides straight. Man, I know he hates to see that. I hate to see it for him too. He's having such a great night, and it all comes apart right there on pit road.
Yep. Yeah, you don't like to see somebody, throw it away like that. And not to say he did throw it away, but just the nature of the beast, nature of the car, like you were just saying. And I'm watching our leader. We got James Wallace.
Yeah.
The early pit stop. He is out in front. He's got a 12-second lead. Or he's got a 4-second lead over Jeff Chandler in second right now, but he's about 12 seconds behind Nate. Now, obviously, Nate Biggert and Joshua Johnson is running fourth right now. The two of them got a lot fresher tires. I don't see James Wallace being able to hold this, but hey, he's getting that lap lead points, and if that's what he planned on doing, if that was his, his what's the word I'm looking for? His strategy, then it worked out for him. He's he's leading the laps right now, and let's see how long he can hold it.
Well, listen, here's the thing. All right, so say we run about 15 laps here. I don't think he's going to get run down in 15 laps from Nate Biggert. Maybe 10, 15 laps. And the caution comes out. Guess what? I think everybody will pit for tires again. So you have the lead. You're back on strategy. You pit for, you can always play that strategy and hope for a caution like that. Evens things right out. You have the lead, have the equal tires with the leaders now, and you race from that point forward, have track position. So I love the difference in strategy. When you're not having the night you want to have, try something. Throw some noodles against the wall, see what sticks.
Yep, and he did just that. And again, yeah, it's paying off for him right now. I'm watching too. TJ Bartell actually had the lead there for a while. He was one of the last guys to pit. He just finally got his lap back, passing up James, and he's on a mission now. After what he's gone through tonight, being 3 laps down at one point, He's moving along, and hopefully he'll find himself in the top 5 by the end of this.
Yeah, TJ doing a great job. Just got his lap back. Just reading some of the chat comments. Pepto Joe sums it up perfectly. This changes everything, and that is exactly right. Doyle Lawrence says not enough grip, too much momentum, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah, it's again like it's tough, but yeah, it's again been there, done that. But man, that deflates you in a hurry.
Oh yeah, and two, you got 8 seconds or 8 minutes worth of repair, and it's just, oh yeah, it's a heartbreak really when you think about it too. New guy, new league, getting in here, showing his stuff. Had a great run, a hell of a lead. Just a little pit road incident. That's all it takes. And yeah, like Joe says, this changes everything, and it's not the last we could see. To be honest with you, we could see a lot more of it.
Yeah, like I said, a caution would change everything once again. So still a long way to go here. Lap 166 of 250. Your leader currently, James Wallace over Jeff Chandler in second, who Jeff actually is starting to close down on the 67 Wallace, so maybe he can get to the lead before Nate catches him. Nate being 8 seconds back of James Wallace at the time. You got Daniel Simmons in fourth and Joshua Johnson running in the fifth spot.
Yeah, I've been watching Nate too, just kind of keeping an eye on him. He's making some gains on second and first right now, but not doing the blistering pace like I kind of assumed he would have. He's just kind of taking his time methodologically. I mean, he definitely has a little bit of space to fourth place now too. Nate is kind of in the catbird seat right now. He's just got to keep it clean and just keep driving.
Well, the question though is Nate was one of the early ones to pit, was he not? Was he one of the first ones to pit out of the lead group, right?
He was one of the first out of the lead group, but yeah, I'm still kind of surprised though. I'm just kind of surprised he hasn't closed down Jeff Chandler and James Wallace a little closer, because there had to be a good 20 lap difference, with tires
Right.
from James, Jeff, and then Nate and Daniel and the rest of the guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking through the rest of the field too. Unfortunately, we got a lot of cars, laps down. We got a lot of cars out right now. Looking at TJ Bartel, he's moving along. He's got the freshest tires out of all of them right now, so he's got the most to gain, and we know he can save the tires. He made a good run towards the end last time. See where he falls. We've got 80 laps to go.
That's right. 79 now laps to go here at Richmond Raceway. James Wallace, your current leader. Jeff Chandler second. Nathan Biggert closing down with those fresh tires in third. Well, Jeff's closing down on James for the lead as well. So everything's going to kind of compress here towards the end of this run. And we'll see who saved their tires the best, who made the right call, who pitted at the right time, and who can take home the win here at Richmond Raceway.
Yeah, mid-pack, midfield, though, it's the same usual players. We got Daniel Simmons running fourth, Richie Coy running fifth, Jamie Knopp running sixth. And everybody's got about a 2-second spacing in between each one of them. Then you got Joshua Johnson behind that group. And again, he's about a second behind Jamie Knopp right now. And then TJ's just kind of moving along. He is running some of the quickest laps out there right now, though.
Right on board the number 20 Husky Toyota for Wayne Grossi Racing. That is TJ Bartel from Mechanicsville, Virginia. The home race for TJ here at Richmond. And he's always enjoyed this track and would love to do really well tonight for the home crowd.
Yeah, and like you say, I mean, being 3 laps down, having connection issues early on, getting all his laps back. Currently the freshest guy in the tires for running the quickest on the track right now. Can he keep up this momentum? And I mean, he's still got a long ways to go. He's 15 seconds off the lead right now, but he could get there. We know what TJ can do.
Iron Man of the race tonight so far. Up 11 positions from his starting spot. Persevered with 3 laps down. Got his 3 laps back at the stage. And just clawed towards the front here at the end. Still gaining some positions. I think he'll get Joshua Johnson. They got a tire disadvantage there. And I'll put him up to P7. We'll see if he can get anything else from there.
Yeah, I'm starting to watch Nathan Biggert now too. He's that fresher tire group of Nathan and Daniel. They are catching Jeff Chandler and James Wallace a lot quicker now. They're about 4 seconds out from them right now. The next car Nate Scott in his mirror in his windshield right now is Nathan Biggert. Will Jeff Chandler beat James Wallace before he gets beat by Nathan? That is the question.
Here's what we got to watch though, Tony. Again, Nathan was one of the early pit stops. Daniel pitted a little bit later. Daniel is really closing down the gap on Nathan Biggert. He was over 2 seconds, and now it's 1.1 seconds back from Nathan Biggert to Daniel Simmons. Simmons may be the sleeper here. Simmons may be the favorite.
And that's actually, that's a good point. Yeah, because I am looking at some of the time. You're correct. Yeah, Nathan's catching the 2, but Daniel is catching Nathan for sure. He does have a little bit a little newer tires. I'll have to go back and actually see what the tire difference between the 2 were.
Still interesting stuff to be played out here at Richmond Raceway. Again, your leader right now, the 67 of Wallace. Jeff Chandler running second in the 31 Chevrolet. Running third is the 01 of Biggert, as you see on your screen. And Daniel Simmons starting to close ground here in the 4th spot on Nathan Biggert. Everything to play for still at Richmond Raceway here. We have less than 50 laps to go now. 49 laps to go here at... Oh, I'm sorry. That's not correct.
I'm showing about
69. 69, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, and to get back to the tire strategy, Nathan Biggert only came in about 2 laps sooner than Daniel Simmons. So it wasn't that much of a difference, but... it's still, Daniel is catching him for sure. And I mean, we did see Nate. Nate wasn't running very strong through that opening run. He wasn't, he was losing a lot of time to Sean Parrish. He wasn't really under fire though from Daniel either though. But with Daniel with about 2 laps fresher tires, that might be all Daniel needs.
The 01 got by the 31 of Jeff Chandler, and now Daniel Simmons looking to get by as well.
Yeah, Nate's got a little bit of a traffic to get by with Wayne Grassi before he can get to Jeff or to get to James, but it's inevitable. He's there.
The 01's got traffic. The 06 has got to get by the 31 as well, and does.
Just a matter of time, and good on James Wallace though. I mean, he held that top spot for probably a good 20, 30 laps, and it was a good move on his part, getting in there early. Yep. And.
Battle for the lead.
This is kind of where he wants to be. Like we've said multiple times. One caution comes out, and they're in that spot where they couldn't have driven there, but the pit strategy got them there.
Yeah, one of Biggert does take the lead. The 06 of Simmons around the 67 of James Wallace as well. So move those 06 right there. And he is there on the 01. We're going to have a race for the lead here. I think the 06 is a little bit better car right now for whatever reason.
Definitely, Daniel, he did look a lot stronger as far as, keeping the car straight and true, compared to Nathan Biggert and even Richie Corey earlier on. Daniel definitely had more of a car like Shane, and he was able to get it in, get it out. He wasn't getting too sloppy on exit. Although I say it, he gets a little bit, but he's kind of working that yaw, and he's just getting a great drive off. Now let's see. I mean, he's right on his bumper now. You think he's going to go inside or outside?
It looks like he's trying to time that run off the corner to get to the inside off the corner. If you look, he's entering a little bit higher in turn 1 and 2, and kind of cutting the car down, trying to get that run off of the corner. As we say that, the 67 of Wallace decides to pit, I guess. For fuel. He was one of the early pitters. He wasn't able to make it on fuel. But now the 06 is just trying to set up a pass here on the 01. we got a heck of a battle for the lead here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And yeah, I kind of agreeing with you though with Daniel Simmons. I think he's probably got the car right now, and all he's got to do is just kind of get that fresh air off of Nate. And he just biding his time. It looks like he's being very patient. He's definitely got a good solid car to do it. So just let it come to you, and you get by him.
Joseph G saying, keep your rhythm. 4 seconds. Well, was 4 seconds back. Now he's in the lead. Just need to get in the rhythm as the 06 starts to dance around. And he's not wrong, Tony. The 06 is the one that's going to have to make the move. The 01 just needs to run his line, run his pace, and force the 06 into a mistake trying to make a pass. I mean, that's kind of the game here.
Yep, it's true. But as I'm watching the two of them right now, I mean, Daniel looks like he's just got a little bit more solid of a car. I mean, they're both starting to get a little bit loose towards the rear end, but he's got a much better drive off. He could definitely get the power down a lot better. Daniel, that is. Just gonna have to time it and get side by side. Once they're side by side, I think it's all over.
Well, you were asking where he's going to make the pass, inside or outside, what corner. I feel like if he can get a good run off turn 2, get to the inside going into turn 3, that the pass will be completed. Although it looks like he's a little better through 3 and 4 than the 01.
Yeah, well, the 1 and 2, he's got that upper, he's taking that higher line and he's getting a much better, drive in, and he's staying with him on exit. But yeah, 3 and 4, he's just got, again, if Nathan wasn't there, I mean, Daniel would be driving away right now. He's kind of he's playing nice in a way, and he's just waiting for that perfect opportunity to get by him.
Well, on one hand, you've got 55 laps to make the pass, so that's in your mind. But at the same time, the longer you stay behind this car, the harder it's probably going to be to pass too. So I don't know. It's hard for me as a race car driver to sit behind somebody when I know I have a faster car, but sometimes it's good just to ride and wait and make your move when he makes a mistake. If he makes a mistake.
Or let the guy maybe Nate's trying to, he's giving it all he's got. Make him use up his stuff a little bit. Daniel just looks like he's got a good car that rolls. And it just seems like that the arrow push he's just getting a little bit of a push just staying in that wake. But
he's right there though. I mean, he's right on his bumper. He's doing a great job mirroring the 01. Both of them wiggling off the corner. I think they're giving it all they got right now. Let's put on a good show here. Good display of driver control here.
And I'm watching our third place driver, Richie Coy. He's 3.5 seconds behind him. It doesn't look like he's really gaining too much or losing too much on him. So we definitely got the race for the lead here in front. I don't know. I mean, does Richie got enough to get back there? I mean, we saw what they did last week, but this ain't Talladega.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to draft up there this time. It's going to have to be on pure driver, car. Oh, you see that one out of control into the wall. Off of turn 4, gets loose and smacks the wall off turn 4.
Yep. Yeah, the 06, not the 01. Yep. Sad. And I was just saying too that he was getting kind of an arrow push, and you can see he was kind of checking up a little bit, and that's this car, this ill-handling car that just kind of snaps on you when you don't want it to, and when it does, it kills you because you don't know what it's going to do, and you really just got to hit the brakes just to try to save a car. And he lost a lot of time. Hopefully he didn't hurt his tires too much, and he could kind of drive back up to his bumper of Nate Biggert. But yeah. Nate was probably happy to see that happen.
Yeah, I don't know if he's hurt his car or not. We'll have to see if he can maintain pace with the 01. But that's a 1.5 seconds he lost to the lead. We'll see if if he even has the car under him still to just maintain for second spot.
Well, I'm looking at the car right now. Daniel's car looks solid. It doesn't look like he's got any damage or anything. He is letting Joshua Johnson go by him right now. Josh got a little bit quicker tires, slapped down, so that's not really hurting him too much. Hopefully, maybe he can kind of work on that draft and just try to get back up to Nate. I know that's not what he wanted to see, but he's still got the car to get up there. He's the only one right now that's got the car to get up there.
Looking at, he is closing the gap back down, so he does still have speed in the car. Luckily, I mean, it's a pretty big hit, but maybe it's just cosmetic. And he is closing the gap back down on Nathan, so I don't think this is over.
No, and as far as I'm concerned, the car looks fine. It doesn't even look. He doesn't look wrinkled or damaged at all. So I mean, he did. You know, it's one of those resilient body panels that we were talking about. You know,
Kevlar.
Yeah, the Kevlar composite, whatever the hell it was. But yeah, definitely, it didn't hit his suspension, thankfully. And
man, he's
moving.
He's got it under a second again. He was a second and a half back. 0.9 now 0.8 seconds. So wow. He's not done. Now he might just be mad.
Yeah. Dare I even say, though, sometimes when you hit the wall, and I mean, I know we've both experienced it. You know, sometimes you tap the wall even just for a little bit, and you're thinking, oh, that might screw me up. And for whatever reason, the car just feels better. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it has happened, and it could be just a placebo. But sometimes, you know, a little tap like that just makes the car feel a little better sometimes.
Just snug it up a little bit.
Right.
He's got it down to a second, but it's kind of stabilized there now.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit of a travel to go, but yeah, let's see. I mean, he's got 45 laps to go to get this thing done. And I'm watching now too. Richie Coy actually he gained about a half a second on the 2 leaders right now, so he might eventually become in this picture. I mean, I know he's been fighting a real ill-handling car. I don't know if maybe if he was able to tighten up that last pit stop, but he's looking a lot smoother and a lot stronger now than he has been all night.
Well, he's 2 seconds back from Daniel, 3 seconds back from the lead, and we've got 45 laps to go. It's going to be a tall order, but
and what's kind of, and I mean, and Jamie Knopp's been right behind him in 4th this whole time too, and I was kind of surprised. I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more mixing up between the 2 of them, but you know, Jamie's moving along, and then we got TJ Bartel, strongly in the top 5 right now. Still the guy with the freshest tires out of everybody on the track, and will he have enough to get to Jamie?
A lot of green flag, clean racing here at Richmond Raceway. The Mach-1 Performance Cup Series presented by Full Throttle Sim Racing here on Full Throttle TV. Listen, if you're interested in, as you see, Jeff Chandler actually hit the pit, so he didn't have the fuel to make it as well. But if you're interested in getting involved in this, Season C is coming up in 2 weeks. Check out FTSR.net. Join the league. Get out here on track and show us what you got. We'd love to have you see you race with some of the best here on our racing at Full Throttle Sim Racing. We got a Cup Series on Monday nights, open setup. Wednesday nights, Truck Series open setup, and we got the new Thursday night series starting in Season C with the Gen 4 car. It is fixed setup, but I'm looking forward to getting that car back out on track. That car is a lot of fun to fight with, but it's a driver's car for sure, with a bunch of horsepower. It should be a lot of fun. But if you're interested in any of these series, check out FTSR.net, get signed up, come out and have some fun. Get on TV, show us what you got, and see if you got what it takes to hang with these guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of great competitors out here, week in, week out, and a lot of good, clean racing, a lot of friendly racing, and yeah, we'd like to see you out here. But yeah, Jeff comes in, he gets pit. You know, Jeff pitted on lap 132, I believe, compared to our leader Nate Biggert, who came on about lap 50. Like 150. So I mean, there was definitely a 20 lap difference between the 2, and I was kind of worried, even like when James Wallace and both Jeff did come in for their earlier pit stop, I was worried that they might have not had enough gas, and apparently, yeah, they didn't, and that's why they needed to make that extra stop. They do got fresh tires though. They don't have enough laps though to make that work, but it's all right. They still got some positions to gain out of this.
Nathan Biggert working through lap traffic here. Close call with the 7 there coming off turn 4. They keep it clean though, but he did lose a little bit of time now. 0.6 seconds. 0.6 of a second between the top 2. Richie Coy 2.7 seconds back. You got Jamie Knopf 4.3 seconds back. And then TJ Bartel in the top 5.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the top 5 lap times too. It looks like they're running. I mean, everybody's running within about a tenth of each other right now, and everybody's seeing a lot of lap traffic though as well. So whether they got lap down cars or they're getting passed by other lap cars that just got fresh tires, everybody's got a little bit of fun competitors that they're dealing with at this time.
Well, listen, this is the point where you start. You kind of got a knot in your stomach if you're the front, if you're the leader. Let's say you don't want to see a caution because it just you just want to maintain status quo. But you got guys out there that just pitted have fresher tires. They're going to be running faster, dealing with different handling issues, but also running faster than the cars around them. And that speed difference can sometimes cause issues on the track and cause a caution. So you're just holding your breath at this point from this point to the start finish or to the end of the race.
Yeah, it always a little unnerving when you got guys that are faster than you, and sometimes the speed difference is so much that you don't necessarily want to be caught off guard by them, but you don't want to constantly be looking in your mirror too, waiting for this guy to pass you. And then when he does pass you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, which way is he going to go? Is he going to go high line, low line? How bad is he going to screw me? And it's kind of one of those deals, but. What do? You just got to get out there, hit your marks, just kind of be a little bit more aware than what you're normally looking to do. And everybody's they're moving along, though. Everybody's doing a really good job so far.
Still about a 1 second difference between Nathan Beggar and Daniel Simmons. Daniel actually lost a little bit of time there when the 31 came around him to get his lap back. Just the way it kind of worked out just cost him a little bit of time. Nathan had a little bit easier time. That's caused that to open up a little bit, but Daniel's starting to try to close that back in, doing everything he can, I know, trying to get back to the 01. It's got to be hard, there's a lot of heartbreak tonight apparently, because the 66 and his issues, and now Daniel Simmons running right on the back bumper of the 01. Now he's made up a little bit of time, so I mean this may still not be over, but you hate to give up that much time with a little bit of issue off turn 4 if you're Daniel. I mean that's gotta hurt. I know I've made those kind of mistakes and it just hurts because you feel like you beat yourself. Now you got to make up that extra time. If you don't get this done, you'll be beating yourself up for weeks because of that.
Yeah, and I'm watching Daniel, and you can tell he's giving the car everything he's got, and you can see he is starting to get a little loose on exit, and but he's been working it, and he's still producing a little slightly better lap times than Nate. So I mean, can he get to his bumper, and then can he make that pass? And he's got 28 laps to go to do it.
The other battle is going to be seeing what TJ Bartell can do with Jamie Knopf and maybe even Richie Coy. TJ's got better tires, and he's closed down the gap on the 48 of Knopf, and he probably will get to him. We'll see if they can do anything. I don't know. It's going to be a lot of, he's got that tire advantage. It's going to make it a little bit easier for him to close up that gap.
Well, TJ's been running about as quick as the leaders right now. And really, everybody in the top 5, they really are running. They're running 23.6s, 23.5s for the most part. And as far as tires go right now, it seems like everybody's kind of equaled out. And a lot of that's to do with, just some of the cars, just getting a little ill handling and still some lap traffic that they're dealing with. But I don't know. I know TJ. If anybody can get her done, it'd be TJ. And if he can just get a little bit more speed out of that car, I think he might have Jamie. I don't know if he's got enough for Richie at this point, though. He's still got about 3 seconds, 2.5, 3 seconds for Richie.
Yeah, actually 2 seconds. They're starting to close up pretty quick on Richie. The tire difference is going to make the difference here for the 20 if he can make something happen. We're coming to 25 to go here, and a lot can happen here in 25 laps. It's definitely not over till it's over.
No, and it's and it does seem like a lot of laps, but it really is, especially too when a lot of these cars, they've been running around here now for 75 laps already on these tires. So to do a full 100 lap run on these things, you're going to see the worst part of the fall off within these laps, 25 laps or so. So we could already see Richie Coy right now. Yeah, he is unfortunately losing a lot of time right now. The car just went south for him, and
Yeah, he went from 3 seconds to 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds almost back from our leader. So he's definitely fallen off the pace. And TJ Bartell's going the opposite way. So I think they're going to meet in the middle here towards the end.
Yep. And Jamie's kind of stuck in the middle thinking like, well, I'd like to be in front of all you guys. And,
yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, back to the front too. Nathan Biggert, he's been holding that 1 second gap off of Daniel Simmons, and I don't know. I know Daniel did not want to see that little bobble that he had early on, and I know it hurt him slightly, but I think he's been pushing. We got a caution.
Caution on the track. Oh no, it looks like the 31 of Jeff Chandler had an issue. This again changes everything.
And I'm looking at Jeff. Jeff went right into the pits. His car is destroyed.
Coming off turn 4, hits the wall, saves it, and it does that hard right hook. We've seen it all night. Go to save the car, and it just right hooks into the wall. And that ends the night for the 31 of Chandler, unfortunately. Oh, another one bites the dust. I'm not going to sing for you, but...
And it's not even something we've seen all night. It's something we've seen all season with this car in particular. Yeah. And it just, when will it end, to be quite honest? I mean, the car shouldn't do this. And I mean, I don't know, or maybe they should. I don't know. But I'd really hate to see it. I know Nathan Biggert didn't want to see it. I know a lot of these guys up front probably didn't want to see it. But I think we got a good race now with 20 to go. By the time this thing goes green, we're going to have under 20 to go. It looks like everybody's coming in. They're getting all fresh meats. And this is going to be very interesting.
Jamie Knopf beat Nathan Biggert off pit road. Wow.
I wonder if that was a two-tire stop there.
You can go back and look and tell us if you want to. Free pass is going to be the 57 of Joshua Johnson. Gets back on the lead lap, but yeah, Jamie Knopf's going to jump to the front. Nathan Biggert comes out second. Daniel Simmons third. Richie Coy fourth. TJ Bartell fifth. Now with fresh tires starting in the top 5.
And Jamie did take the two-tire stop.
Woo.
And I mean, I don't know. I've seen some guys actually make this work without any practice, though, to know what it's going to do. Especially too with 75 lap old left front or left sides. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a good move. I mean, we got 20 to go. So, gave him that track position. I mean, he bounced up, 4th spot. So, kudos to him. Hopefully he can get this thing to stick and make it work.
Yeah, Pepto Joe saying Richmond is slick. Indeed it is. Whatever they've done NASCAR, iRacing wise, it is very, very slick. They've tried to age the track over the years, and it's become very, very hard to get a hold of. And you add on top of that the difficulty of the car, and yeah, you're right. You kind of get what you get here. As far as Jamie Knopf goes, I may eat my words, but I feel like this is something he may know what the car is going to do with 2 tires. He may be prepared for this. And this is something else to think about, Tony. In C season, we're going to have restart rules. We're going to use the iRacing restart zone here at FTSR. That being the case, with a late race caution like this would be a huge advantage for the 48 to get the lead, be able to restart where he wants to, and maybe jump out to a gap.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when the season C starts, we're gonna have the restart rule, and it's definitely gonna shake stuff up for the leaders here. And a lot of guys in the league, they've been wanting it, and we're finally bringing it over here. I don't know if everybody's gonna want it like they think they want it, but hopefully, we got a good bunch of professionals here, and they're gonna make the best out of it, and hopefully it's gonna work out in their advantage like they really want it. I'm a true guy. You go when the light turns green, opposed to waiting on somebody else. But I'm never up front though either. So I definitely wouldn't want to be in that position.
Pace car is off. We're getting ready to go green here. Jamie Knopf, Nathan Biggert on the front row. Green flag's out. The 48 doesn't get a great start. It's getting pushed by the 06 of Daniel Simmons into turn 1. 2x2 through 1 and 2. Still side by side. Down the back.
I think we're going to see a lot of side-by-side action going on, at least for the next 10 laps here. Everybody's got, they're beating their chest right now. They've got fresh tires, and we don't got a whole lot to go. So these guys are going to be pushing it. I wouldn't be shocked if we see another caution.
The 01 Biggert retakes the lead. The 48 of Knopf jumps to second. Richie Coy up to third. Daniel Simmons to fourth. The battles for fifth between the 20 of TJ Bartel and the 35 of Tracy's actually going to grab that on the outside. Or is he? Oh, TJ up the track.
Yeah, there was almost a little bit of contact right there. And,
48 gets loose. 19 looking inside for second.
Yeah, I don't think those two tires were probably the winning strategy there, but I'm sure Daniel Simmons was not very happy to see that. He had a nice second place run going there, and he's unfortunately stuck to fourth right now. Does he have the speed though to get back to second? And we know Richie's got a good short run car. I mean, so it's going to be an uphill battle for Daniel, but he's going to have to get by his pseudo teammate Jamie Knopp right now.
Still 14 laps to go. Still a long way to go here. Anything could happen. Another caution could shake things up. Richie Coy does make the pass for second. Now teammates Daniel Simmons on the inside of the 48 of Knopf for third. Oh, Jamie in the wall.
Yeah, Jamie just got a little tap, and I know Daniel was hoping he probably could clear him at that point, but it looks like he's going to clear him right now. So, well, maybe not. That outside line has got it's just good and strong. I'm watching our two leaders too. I'm just trying to see if Richie Coy's got anything in the tank to get him up there, and he's firmly a half a second. Nathan Biggert is not holding up though. He is pedal to the metal, balls to the wall, and I'd assume Richie is as well. But does Richie got anything to at least get to him? Are we going to see an Austin Dillon move? Probably not, but we are. I'm going to
go ahead and say no.
Yeah, I'm going to say no as well, but we're almost, the way this book is being written, we're almost, there's a potential.
Yeah, there's been so much happen tonight. You got the leader pitting and hitting the barrels, taking himself out. You got the 01 and the 06 battling for the lead, and 06 making an issue.
TJ Bartel. Oh, big wreck.
Oh, no. Down the backstretch, TJ Bartel. Looks like he collected James Wallace as well in that. We'll have to go back and see what happened there, but a good night comes to an end.
It happened what we've been seeing happen for weeks and weeks and weeks. Same thing. Gets a little loose. The car just shoots right. Fortunately, James Wallace had nowhere to go.
Off of turn 2, car gets loose. He saves it. The car turns right, never comes back to him. And, yeah, James Wallace just wrong place, wrong time for the 67, but you're right. That's exactly what we've seen the whole time here. On board with the 20. Loose off the corner, saves it, turns right to save it, and it just never comes back to the left. And if the 67 wasn't there, he was going to hit the wall, but unfortunately 67 collected in that as well. Those guys will come to pit road, along with the 48 and the 35 coming to pit road.
Yeah, I'm watching the 48 too, and I bet you he's getting his 4 tires this time around. Will he? I think we're gonna have maybe 5 to go once everybody we rack them and stack them, but I don't think the 4 tires is gonna do it for him now, but he might gain 1 or 2 spots out of this.
So Leo wanted Biggert leading the race. 19 of Coy in second. 06 of Simmons in third. Fourth is going to be Joshua Johnson at 56. Look at Joshua Johnson up to P4. After all that happens, he sneaks through and now currently running in the 4th position.
Well, and that's that boomerang. We were talking about them early on. Josh been holding strong, and he had actually a good event-free night tonight. Especially in a hard track, hard car combo, and he sitting strongly in 4th right now, and with 5 to go, and anything can happen for him too. I mean, it's a good night for him.
I thought you were about to make a boomerang joke.
Well,
throw it and it comes back to you.
maybe.
It's come back to him for sure. He's come back to the front, fourth spot, up 7 positions from where he started, though. But having a good night. Ben Tracy in 5th in the 35. But again, the 35, the 48, or the 67 maybe with damage, 20 with damage. But the 45 and 35, 48 and 35, both have fresher tires now.
Now, I guess now we do have a top or bottom line rule for the starter. Let's see what Nate's going to take. We know Richie does not like the outside, so or at least it doesn't seem to be able to make any moves on the outside. But they're going to be neck and neck with what, 5 laps to go, less than 5 laps, maybe 4 laps to go to get this thing done. It's going to be very interesting, these 4 laps. And
4 laps. It comes down to this. Late race restart.
And then we got Daniel Simmons back there too. I mean, he could be the upsetter. If I'm going to go back to my original prediction, I'm going for Josh Johnson or Daniel Simmons right now, because I did not want the 19 and the 1. I did not think they were going to get the deal done tonight, but hey, I could be wrong too.
Listen, Tony. Listen, I got to tell you something. There's a reason why the 01 and the 19 are top of the points. That's because they get this stuff done here. So I was pretty safe. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be kind of 50-50 between those two and between the field. But I look for the 06 to make some moves here, hopefully, and get a good restart, get right on the back bumper of the 01, take advantage of that, and hopefully make some moves here.
Let's see some awesome Dylan. Right.
No. Green flag. I mean, pace car's off. We're getting ready for the green flag through the restart zone, waiting for the green. There it is. We're underway, and the 06 does get a good start. He's right on the back bumper of the 01 going into turn 1.
Yeah, Richie didn't look like he wasn't quite lined up right now, and it looks like he's under fire now on Daniel Simmons. I know he'd rather be side by side with Nate Bigger right now, but he did actually clear him. But I don't know if he's going to have enough room or enough time now to get past Nathan.
Yeah, 19 does clear for second spot. The 06 of Daniel Simmons drops to third. Can the 19 get to the 01? And if he does, what does he do?
Well, I'm looking at our fresh tire number 48 too, Jamie Knopp. He's in 5th right now. How many spots is he going to get before this is over with them fresh tires?
Ben Tracy, too, with fresh tires back there, currently makes the pass for 4th spot over Joshua Johnson. All 3 of our leaders kind of spaced out evenly here. About 3/10 between them.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody's really got anything for anybody right now, especially in the top 3. But you go a little further back, and we got a little bit of a race going for 4, 5, and 6.
Coming to the white flag. White flag's out. 1 lap to go here at Richmond Raceway. Jamie Knopf having issues back there off the track. But it's been all Nathan Biggert for these last half of the race through 3 and 4. The 01 comes through 3 and 4 down the front stretch and will win at Richmond, claiming his 6th win of the season and adding to his points lead. The winner tonight, Nathan Biggert in the 01.
Well, that was a hell of a race, and I was wrong. And I'm watching Richie Coy, another bridesmaid for him, and not a bad night though. I mean, especially too with the early problems he had. To come in, finish second, I'm sure he'll take it.
He'll say a good points night, but unfortunately, he finishes behind his championship rival both at the stage and at the end of the race. But good solid finish for Richie Coy, P2. Daniel Simmons, P3. I'm sure he was wanting more, but.
He almost had it too. Yeah, I mean he was damn close early on, and the cautions kind of hurt him. The little slip he had hurt him, but still 3rd place finish was still a good night for him.
Nathan Biggert doing a little celebration here on the front stretch. Let's show your finishing results here on the screen. It's going to be Nathan Biggert taking home the win. Richie Coy finishes 2nd in the 19 Ford. 3rd place is the 06 of Daniel Simmons. Coming on 4th, a solid run for the 35 of Ben Tracy. 5th place, a good top 5 for the 57 of Josh Johnson as well. TJ Bartell comes back after that wreck at the end to finish P6. Issues on the last lap by the 48 of Jamie Knopf drops him to P7. Eighth place is going to be the 67 of James Wallace. Ninth is going to be the 37 of Brian Dublé. I can't read, I guess. And 10th spot's going to be Dave Nestor in the 36. A good top 10 run for him as well.
Yeah, for sure. Then rounding them out, we got Wayne Grossi in 11th. Jeff Chandler had his issues and 16 laps down in 12th. Lane Allen in 13th. Shane Parrish, who unfortunately led a whole lot of laps, was almost sewing this thing up. He's in 14th. Kyle Milk in 15th. Nick Dugan 16th. Brandon Elder 17th. Ryan Hedrick 18th. And then Colton Gum, your last place finisher.
A lot of tough finishes for a lot of guys there deep in the field. Unfortunately, had some rough patches in the race. We had that big one down the backstretch, had some issues with different cars snapping to the right. A lot of that tonight, unfortunately, and ending people's races. But an entertaining one nonetheless. Let's see if we can get to our post-race show here. Our post-race show is, as always, presented by Victory Fuel. Again, drinkvictory.com. Code FTSR for 2% off your order. Check them out. Victoryfuel.com or drinkvictory.com.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race, though, all in all. I mean, from a lot of shakeups and craziness, which is to be expected, especially with this car with this death wobble and I'll tell you that it's probably killed more cars tonight than anything.
Yep. All right. Let's see if we can pull in our third place finisher. The 06, Daniel Simmons brings it home P3. Daniel, great run tonight. You had a strong car. It looked like you were contending for the lead there with the 01 about 2/3 through the race. And then those late race restarts may have hurt a little bit. But just tell me about your race. Talk about how the night went for you and how you felt out there.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I had really good long run speed, I felt like. When we come out from that last stop right there, I made some adjustments, and when I come out, I guess Nathan pitted like a lap after me. So when he come out, I mean, I think he had me almost a half a track. I really didn't think I was going to be able to do anything with him, and I just was like, I'm going to run as hard as I can, get away from the guys behind me, and then save. And heck, I started running him down. So then when I finally got to him, I was like, just going to ride right here behind him because I know he's saving. Like, if I go by him, he's just going to kind of race me hard, and I'm going to lose all this I pulled on the guys behind me. But I kind of lost it coming up out of 2, I believe it was at one point, and thought that was it. Kind of run him down again. So I just didn't need that last caution. Maybe I could have got there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you looked like the strongest car at that point. You were able to run him down. You had that small mistake, and you run him down again. And I was like, man, he has got the car to beat at this point. You said Nate was probably saving, maybe so. He's known for that. But you were doing a great job as well there. It was a great race, and then kind of thrown for a loop there at the end. But I'm going to pass it to Tony there. Tony, you got anything for him?
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, a lot of cars look very loose tonight, and you. I mean, obviously you were a little loose yourself, but the car seemed a lot more stable than some of the other cars. Just curious to know what were you doing a little different, and what did you actually feel? How was the car for you tonight?
I mean, it was good. It was loose. Just kind of got to shallow in my entry a little bit, trying to burn my right front off. And it seemed like that helped it a good bit. It's like it would plan on the right rear coming out. But it was just a fine line. Like when I got right up behind Nate, it felt like it got looser in the dirty air. So even though when I got up behind him, I was riding more, it just seemed like it was really, really free up off of 4, especially up off of 4, when I was right up behind him. So I feel like I probably should have just went by him when I got there and tried it. But like I say, I thought for sure he was saving. If I tried to get by him, I was gonna burn my stuff up even more. So just one of them deals.
We were waiting for that move, to be quite honest, because you were there a few times, and we were just waiting. We figured maybe you were just having just a little bit more patience, or being a little bit more patient with it. And then, unfortunately, yeah, you had your little issue, and you tapped the wall, but you still didn't look like it hurt you too much. I mean, you're still trying to keep some good speed. Obviously, you couldn't close in on them, but It was a good run though, regardless.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it was a good race for sure.
Yeah, we were trying to predict where you're going to make the move off turn 2, off turn 4. I like that little bit higher entry you had in turn 1 to kind of straight line the exit of 2. I felt like that was a really strong point, although it looked like you were stronger through 3 and 4 than the 0-1 at points too. So it was really tough to kind of judge and see where that move maybe was going to come from. But unfortunately, with the cautions there happening at the end, it kind of threw everything for a loop. But again, great run, third place finish, great night. Was in contention, just didn't quite work out strategy wise. But I'm going to hand you the mic though. I'm going to let you do your shout outs and give your thanks. Let the people out there know what you got going on.
Yeah, man, I got to thank, like I said, I got to thank my teammates, Ben and Jamie, kind of working together and testing all that good stuff. And thank Team Connie for the sets. I mean, killer sets. So if anybody needs any, definitely go check them out. And thank you guys for the great broadcast. Gives me something to do in the morning at work. So thanks for putting on a great lead.
You mean other than work?
Yeah, other than work.
I'm just kidding. Hey, Daniel, great job, man. Great job out there. It was fun to watch. You guys did a great job putting on a great show there. Hung on to it, which is more than what some can say out there. And come home, Peter. Congrats once again.
Thanks, guys.
There's the third place finisher, Daniel Simmons. And now we'll see if we can talk to our second place finisher, number 19, Richie Coy, brings it home, P2. Richie, congratulations on a P2 finish, I would say, but I know you've got to be frustrated how that turned out there at the end.
Yes and no. I'm frustrated because, being the first loser, you always get frustrated. But I was not a second place car tonight, so I think we reached up at the end there and got a couple positions that I wasn't going to get had the questions not come out. So a little happy at the fact that we were able to overreach a little bit there at the end. But yeah, I mean it's frustrating, but at least we were there. We were close, and we had a pretty good car all night long.
Yeah, you did have a good car. I had a good short run car for sure. It looks like the long run kind of fell off, but I got to ask you, that contact early on with the 66, I know it's early to make short track contact. What do you think, what developed there from your end? What kind of happened there? You guys look like you just kind of came together coming into the entry of turn 3.
Yeah, I went back and just looked at that before I came in here, and I got to send him an apology because I think I came down a little bit, and then we had a little bit of net code. But yeah, I think not having been on the outside, it was the first time I was on the outside, and I think I just came down a little bit too early and crowded him, and I don't think he was ready for that. So that was all. I think it's all on me. So I apologize to the 66. Not the way I want to introduce him into the league, but he was fast tonight. But yeah, that was all on me. I looked at it. It's definitely my fault.
Well, listen, you rebounded great. You lost some positions there, but rebounded to a second place finish. A lot can be said for that as far as sticking with it and coming back to second. But I'm going to throw it over to Tony. I'm sure Tony's got some questions and comments, maybe.
Some isms.
Yes, Tony, second again.
Yeah,
he already said that.
I was going to say second again. I mean, always a bride, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. But yeah, the car was loose. I mean, we could all see it, and especially early on. What were you doing to try to tighten it back up? I mean, obviously, second place is still a hell of a run towards the end there, and yeah, you finally made some moves there at the end. But early on, I know you probably weren't happy about it. So what was going on early on?
Honestly, I don't know. Every time I practice one of these races, I always end up set up my leg offline, and then we get in the set in the server, and for whatever reason, it just never. I struggle all during practice to try to get the car to get tightened up, and I struggle back and forth where I'd get it too tight, too loose, too tight. I can never get it straight. Then I was having issues where I don't like the brakes on this short track package with these cars. It just doesn't. It gets me out of rhythm, and I was a bit of a mess in the beginning of the race, and we worked on it trying to tighten it up a little bit in the race. It got better as the temperature came down. It got a little better, at least drivable. But I also think in the first part of it, when I got sideways and hit, which I don't know how I didn't spin, but I think that killed the tires, especially the left side tires, and it heated the tires up, and it made it even looser. But we kept our heads down. We worked on it every stop that we could, and I think we made it pretty good at the end. I mean, me and Nate definitely were putting down some fast times there at the end.
Well, I do have to say though, and I did say in the broadcast, it was a great save there in the turn 3 when you and the 66 made contact to kind of rebound from that. I'm sure it did kill the tires because you guys locked it down to keep it from spinning, which was great. But Richie Coy on the struggle bus tonight, but he finishes P2, so it's not too much of a struggle. But Richie, I'm going to hand you the mic, let you do your sponsor plugs, your thanks. Just let the guys know out there what you got going on.
The struggle bus. Imagine if we can get it right, but I appreciate it. Appreciate the league. I think I didn't really get to see much of what went on with these questions. For overall what we saw, it was a pretty clean race. So it's Richmond, it's short track racing. I didn't see any Austin Dillon moves going on out there, so that's good. I got to thank Victory Fuel for being on board. Fury Motorsports. Victory Fuel it's finally out. Purple Potion, the grape flavor is finally out and on the website drinkvictory.com. Use code FTSR for 10% off your order. So get some Purple Potion. It's going to make the 4-packs for winners a little difficult if everybody wants to do a variety pack because there's 3 flavors now and whatever. But
yeah, how does that work? Like,
I don't know yet. Pick
I'm looking
3
forward
and an extra one.
I'm looking forward to trying the purple for sure. The Purple Potion for sure. Big fan of grapes, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, I got a case coming so I can try it, and so got to thank Victory for being on board. Motorsports, all my teammates for helping me out through the race. It was an amazing teammates. The way we were working together out there, and thank you guys for broadcasting, stepping up and broadcasting. That's awesome of you guys to do that, and yeah, thanks Tony's mom and dad for watching. I didn't embarrass him or anything.
I think his Tony. I think his teammates were carrying him tonight.
Oh yeah, well
absolutely.
When you always ride on your teammates like that, I mean, it's always good. You got to give them props.
Just kidding, guys. All right, Richie Coy, congratulations, man. P2, good solid finish tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week in Michigan.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Have a good night.
Second place finisher, Richie. If you guys aren't catching that, we actually race. We're teammates with Coy, but we're the only ones, and he has no teammates out there, so no friends. One guy that's got a lot of friends, though, man, he's got a lot of trophies, too. His 6th wins on the season is the Owen and Nathan Biggert. Nathan taking home the win again tonight. Win number 6 of the season, extending the points lead. As a matter of fact, clinching the championship tonight. So congratulations on that as well. But talk us through the race tonight, man. It was an exciting one. It's somewhat unpredictable one at times with the issues with the leader and then all the restarts at the end. Just talk us through what you got going on.
Yeah, definitely a roller coaster of a race. I was right from the start. I thought I was going to be able to get the pole. Richie beat me by, what is it, 0.001. And man, I was upset about that right from the start, but drove hard, battled hard the whole race. I think I overdrove it a lot tonight. Richmond's not my favorite track, but I think I overdrive it a little too much. Burned up the right rear, was getting loose. At one point there on that long run, if I didn't pit when I did, I think I was probably going to cause a yellow because I was really having a hard time holding on to the car. But yeah, I got to thank, Shane for handing over the win tonight. He definitely outclassed us tonight. He was fast, and without his incident, I think it was all his to take home tonight. But then seeing the caution at the end, I seen Dan coming. He was running me down. I was trying to save as much as I could and just letting him get there and trying to mind the gap a little bit. And it was working, but it was going to be interesting at the end. Like I said, even though I was trying to go easy, I was still just way too loose of a car tonight. So, but getting the restart, getting a good launch, getting some fast laps at the end, it definitely had short run speed, overdriving the car. I was able to get some great lap times for about 5 laps, and that's all I needed at the end. So thankful to clinch a championship. Didn't even know that until you just said it. So that's awesome. And looking forward to the rest of the seasons.
Yeah, we got Michigan coming up next week for sure. You can go in there kind of relaxed and just go at it. I'm looking forward to that, I'm sure, as well. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The 66 was way out. He was 2.5 seconds out there, and then he had issues, and it threw you guys. into the battle for the lead there. We saw Daniel was starting to close in. It was going to be a pretty good battle, and then the cautions at the end. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much summed it up very well. So I'm just going to pass it to Tony. Tony, you got anything to add?
Well, just the up and down roller coaster that he's at tonight. Yeah, especially trying to go for the pole, loses it out. Shane has his little incident. You're under fire by Daniel Simmons. Then the late race restarts. I mean, you had kind of an up and down battle tonight, and I don't know. Congratulations on the win, though. Again, 6 wins, and that's a hell of a feat too. And just I don't know. What are you bringing next weekend? I guess that's what I can ask.
Well, I think a lot of these races, especially tonight, I don't know so much about Michigan, but it still is. It's track position. You want to qualify up front and try to stay up there as much as you can. Stay out of the mess in the back, in the field, in that dirty air. You're gonna, wear your tires out more following somebody, heat them up. So definitely gonna try to bring a fast car and try to stay out front as long as I can out there. It's, totally different style racing, that big draft coming in, and definitely got to take care of the tires. But it's always a fun track. Again, it's definitely on my lower of the list of favorites, but it's definitely great with the multi lanes. So looking forward to it. Always a great group to race with here in FTSR. It's going to be a battle, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like a lot of fun out there tonight, battling the cars for sure. But man, you 6 wins and 12 races for the season. I'd say you pretty much dominated the season so far. No pressure next week, so sure you'll have fun there. But again, congratulations tonight, picking up win number 6 of the season, clinching the championship, B season champion. And I'm going to hand you the mic now, though, and let you do your thanks and give you shout outs.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to you guys, FTSR, doing the broadcast. I want to thank you too. Shout out to the league themselves, all the admins that do all the work for us to just come out and have fun. Shout out to Joe watching, and I see him watching the live stream and putting his 2 cents in. He brought me into the league. He's helped me through iRacing, and appreciate everything he does. Fuego Paints, Fuego Autosports, that's him. He does a great paint job. Love the way it looks of the car. Always adding my win stickers. Appreciate it.
He's been busy then.
He has. He's running out of room, I think, on that car. It's a good thing we split the seasons. But yeah, just also shout out to all the fans watching. Chop Shop, the league that, they helped me out a lot with everything on iRacing, brought me in, taught me a lot of racing craft and stuff. All the drivers tonight doing a great job, giving room to the leaders coming through, lap cars. It is so much respect out here. I really love racing with y'all. And number 1 fan, always watching. Love you, Mom.
All right, there's our winner tonight, Tony. Nathan Biggert takes on win number 6 of the season here at Richmond Raceway. Clinches the championship. Just a dominating. Well, I will say he probably had the second place car tonight, but with the way things worked out, just dominated all season though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, tonight was kind of a gifted to him, but he did not get any gifts throughout the season. He just hard pressed, raced hard, got it done. I mean, getting 6 wins in this league is not an easy feat. Comes home with the championship, gets another win tonight. I mean, hell of a season. It's good to have him in the league, and let's see what he could do season C. Although we still got one more race to go, so I mean, he could stamp that 7th.
You're right. Next week, we are off to Michigan Speedway for the FTSR Mach-1 Performance Cup Series. Last of an era, too. Mach-1 Performance leaving for the sponsorship, and Victory Fuel taking over for Season C. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to a great race at Michigan as well. 200 miles of racing there. A lot of drafting, really fast track. Looking forward to it. And I hope you will join us next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern here on Full Throttle TV. For the Michigan 200 for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Mach-1 Performance Cup Series. But for Tony Solari and all the group at Full Throttle TV, my name is Brody Hanna. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you next week at Michigan.